In the middle of the night or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
It is another beautiful Thursday morning. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot.
No.
Episode number 74.
Wow.
74 times we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, what a win. What a win. Welcome out there, all you comic book enthusiasts. We have another great show planned for you today. We're going to have a lot of conversation. There's a lot of news, a lot of things to cover out there. And always, it's always a fun time here on Nerd Bacon. Randy, how was your week, sir?
Crazy as usual.
Crazy as usual.
Yep. Trying to get stuff done.
Right, yeah, I'm trying to get things ready. Short week for me. I'm going off to a con.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Cool.
Convention.
Where are you going?
Dayton, Ohio.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's like Gem City or Green something con. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there.
Let me know how that goes.
Yep, we gotta sell some comics.
Yeah.
And then the following week is I'm hanging out with Randy
Some weirdo
after he's got
in the
he
family.
has a con. Yeah.
I have it's kind of a con. They're calling it a comic convention kind of thing, but it takes place in a library and it's only 4 hours long.
It's a day thing. That's
It's
more
a
like
day
a comic
meeting.
con. Yeah, like a comic meeting.
Comic meeting. Yeah.
It's a show
But I'm
and tell.
looking forward to it. Ought to be fun.
Showcase.
Get to teach kids how to cartoon, get to sell comics.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah, you're gonna love doing that.
Showcase.
There you go. That works.
That's
A
good.
comic showcase, yes. Better get him to the showcase.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Whiskey Man, how is your week going? Man, how's it doing?
It's good. Lots and lots of script writing and hitting the gym a lot recently. So my legs are getting ready.
Hope you haven't been hurting your hand.
Hitting the gym.
Oh yeah,
Hitting the gym.
Randy. Yep.
Absolutely.
There you go.
You can't
Just
be
do
losing.
it. Just do it.
Do it. Yeah, hitting the gym.
Hit the gym.
Yeah.
That man's got way too much testosterone. Way too much.
Yeah. What did the gym ever do to you?
Seriously.
Anyway.
Yeah. I had a
Good
joke.
work.
I just lost it.
Just lost it. Just gone.
At least you're not snapping into a Slim Jim. So
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Nope.
there is that.
Ooh, yeah. There.
That's
Oh,
right,
yeah.
brother.
Brother. And next, impressions.
Ooh,
you go.
Slim Jim.
I tell you what, when they did the superpowers, him and Hulk Hogan, it was like, who's going to get the mic? I mean, seriously.
They're all
Yeah, that
fighting over-
wasn't long for this world. You knew that wasn't going to last long. So anyway.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Macho Man Randy Savage as Spider-Man.
Right.
Benny, we got you on today. You're here to promote your campaign, community
Yeah.
service. The little campaign that could.
Uh-huh.
Man, you just are trying to defy all odds
Working on it.
and make that crap happen, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Man,
I'm
look at
working
that.
hard at it, man.
What a tenacious spirit you have. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit more as we
Cool.
get a little deeper into this thing.
All right.
Speaking of deeper into things,
That's a great pinup.
That's what she said.
so I went to go see these frescoes. They are Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel.
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah, I went to go see those.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many wieners,
So many. So many.
like
Literally,
an
just
uncomfortable amount
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
of male genitalia
it's all that pent up rage he had.
in that church.
Yeah.
And every woman looked like a man. And as Bunny was saying, we know that there were attractive women in that day
Uh-huh.
because of our boy Raphael
Yeah. Yep.
would paint them on the regular.
Right.
Michelangelo apparently missed that memo.
Mm-hmm.
They were
But
not
but
pretty.
truly, honestly, what is a woman? You know,
What is a woman?
what is a woman? Yeah.
Are you trying to get me canceled? You're just trying to get me canceled. Hey,
Just asking a question.
Listen,
Just positing a
listen.
question.
I'll tell you what. We got Pedro coming in here right now. And
Uh-oh.
Pedro will tell you what a woman is. and he will
no
say
doubt.
in 2 words, Martha Stewart.
Yep. Yeah, I'm so happy I didn't come in between the winner.
There you go.
We come between
Yeah.
like what's a woman talk.
Because I would
love
have
that.
been like, speaking of wieners,
Yeah,
here's,
exactly.
here's Pedro.
That would have been horrible.
That's
yeah,
how we would have done that.
Speak of wieners, and he shall appear.
Yeah.
dude,
Let's
I mean-
welcome our chat today. First in the house, we've got Dr. Mask Retro Elixir. It's good to have you here.
Oh, Doc.
We got Bunny in the chat and on the panel. Way to go. Good morning, everyone. From Agent Zero.
What's up, Doc?
Pixel Trader, sup nerds. Sup, my friend. Ronan's Review, our newest channel member, by the way. Welcome,
Hey.
welcome. Thank you for being a member. Yep. Glenn Fleming's in the house. Here we go. Gotta look out for that. It's gonna be crazy. Sketchy Guy Nevada is in the house. Hey, what's up? Jason Black, my personal stalker. Love
There you
this
go.
guy, man. Friday morning.
He's talking
here,
to you too, so
but whatever.
Don't
So
feel
he's in the
planet is
future.
that?
So
What
Jason
planet?
is in the future.
Too early for that shit. Oh.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm trying to my brain's trying to figure out.
Yeah.
He has to be on the opposite side, exactly opposite of where we're at,
Right.
in order for that to be the future. Friday
True.
morning.
True.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic Con kicks off tomorrow, and we are going to talk about San Diego Comic Con just a little bit
Kicks off today.
today. Today, that's right.
damn.
Yeah.
That's a 4-day fun-filled time.
Fun-filled time.
I can't wait
Without
to hear the
Hollywood, man.
reports. I can't wait
Yeah,
to hear
without
the reports.
Hollywood, man. It's gonna
And
be.
guest starring Satan, evidently. So
There's-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be people walking through that convention going, who's that guy?
He's a comic book artist. What?
Speaking of fun-filled times, we have Genuine Comics here.
Hey, what's
Oh,
up?
Welcome,
what's up,
Dave.
Dave?
Nice to have you here. And Glenn says, I always suspected Randy didn't love me. He'd rather fix his kitchen than write those 2 articles I need.
I got one of them. I'm just doing a final polish on. But
Yeah.
all of that falls under the old cliche: happy wife, happy life.
There you go.
Some
And in the
things-
term,
and
some
like,
things
his wife is
have
very
priorities, I'm
happy.
afraid.
yeah, in the pecking order of Randy's life, Monica comes first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've
There you
always
go.
heard that.
I'm
Yeah.
off that boat, dude. It's just... I just feel like Jimon Jones who like give us free. Um,
Never seen
He's
Abel's
a
wife.
free man,
Somebody's
ladies. You
got to
heard it
be in
here
Canton,
first.
Ohio.
Oh,
Sorry.
there you
Yeah,
go.
somebody's got to go to Canton.
Moss Retro
Somebody's got to do it.
Hall of Fame game.
Somebody.
Might as
Yeah,
well
there
be
we
here.
are. Good for you, man.
Yep, that does sound fun.
There has.
Legend has it that it would have been indecent to have women pose nude, but I think they were just into dudes and wanted to hang out with naked men.
Evidently,
Michelangelo
very
probably-
muscular naked men.
Rumor has it that Michelangelo did want that. He did
Yeah.
very much
you
want
know how many winners you have to draw before you like seed doubt about what you're into?
Hmm.
0. Once
It
you
doesn't
pass
take,
0
it
winners,
doesn't take
Old
long
cat.
these days. It doesn't take
Yeah.
long.
that. After that first
Very-
wiener. And I'm
Yeah,
not
you're done.
talking about the little one that you draw on your friend's face when he
no,
falls asleep
No, when he falls asleep.
first at the party.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome
talking like
Boldcat
going into
Studios
the
is in the house.
veiny detail of the affair.
And we have Hojo. Everybody, welcome. Please file on in, and we'll just keep the conversation going. Hopefully, not about wieners.
Yeah.
No,
We're going to move on from that topic today. In fact,
I think you covered that exclusively on Nerd.
man, we really, really covered that as much as we could the other night on Nerdcap. Oh,
Very
speaking
thorough,
of
very
which,
thorough.
Nerdcap now is we're back up and doing that, but it is going to be one of those where we do it live, and then we flip that sucker over to members only. So if you do want to watch that in replay, you will have to become a channel member, and I am doing that unapologetically because, quite frankly, not only do we have a really good time, but we do happen to name names, and we just kind of we kind of hold no punches. And I don't really want just randoms that, are out there to cause trouble, raining on our parade and having a good time. So it's for friends and family only.
Random killjoys.
No trolls.
no trolls.
You know what we do to cave trolls?
They have a cave troll. Yeah.
We happen to have a cave troll here.
There you go. EFAP. Ta-da!
I haven't done the EFAP game yet. That's not really my style. One of these days I will. I'll break my EFAP cherry, and we will get out there and make it happen.
There
One
you
of
go.
these days.
That's what she said.
One of these days.
Anyway, let's move right along, guys. So let's see what's going on in the news today. I'm going to share my screen. I should have did this already, but I am what I am,
Yeah.
and that
Great
is
Eminem song.
Are we going to have a moment of silence this episode?
why not?
Moment of silence for
I
Heavy
mean,
Metal Magazine.
Oh, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's been so many tragedies lately.
Yeah, I didn't even pull up an article for this one. No one wants to.
Yeah, they're desecrating that corpse right now, aren't they?
Heavy metal. Heavy metal is
How to shoot yourself in the foot.
heavy metal is no more, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
They have.
What? Never mind. We're on a family show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is safe for work, fellas.
Safe away.
Oh.
Safe for work. So here we go. Rolling Stone
strike.
Initiative, talking about it. Ups strike, huh? Maybe.
Yeah,
No, it looks like it's
Initiative.
definitely happening.
Uh,
Yeah, they're still not doing any. They're still
Means
not
that-
getting along.
I've got to get those shipments in the pipeline today
yeah.
Yeah,
before the end of the month. Holy crap!
yeah. I'm trying to get on my printer. I'm like, guy, you gotta get the books here. There's
So many strikes going on. So many
Yeah.
strikes happening.
Did you know though? DHL is now hiring.
Yeah.
They're ramping up
Prepping for the
their employee
times. Yeah.
their pool there so that they can.
I
I'm
never
sure
heard
everybody-
anybody complain about DHL. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
FedEx and DHL are sitting there rubbing their hands, going, "Do it, do it, do it."
But
We got the
is
hike
it-
schedule already made up.
Yeah.
Do it, do it,
Isn't DHL like more expensive?
do it, do it.
DHL offers low cost international shipping.
Yeah.
So that's normally where all of my international stuff goes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, check this one out, guys.
Whoops.
Funko CEO out. Tell me we didn't see that one coming.
Really?
He's gone.
Oh,
All of these guys all take a leave of absence now.
yeah, what a
Yeah.
curveball.
Yeah.
I like that. That's now
Just
code
a leave
for
of absence.
I got
What a-
freaking canned.
Like
What a
Melissa
great
Kennedy
Heimerstein
is on right now.
took a
She's
leave
on
of
a
absence from Bud
absence.
Light. Yeah.
Yeah, so what a turn of events. It's just
What was that, Randy? What were you saying?
So that's what they're saying. Kathleen Kennedy is at right now on a leave of absence.
Well, we're
Oh,
going to talk
really?
about Kathleen
oh,
Kennedy here in just a minute.
Poor old lady.
Speak of the devil.
Funko keeping retailers alive since 2018.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Funko just
How
got
many,
shot.
how many
It seems-
comic shops are gonna close because Funko took a dump? You know,
They're
seriously.
struggling already. They were struggling
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
They're struggling even harder now.
Yeah.
it's rough. So yeah, Funko Inc. CEO Brian Mariotti. That's a fun name.
Taking a
Reminds
leave
me
of
of
absence.
Moriarty.
It's Brian
Similar to
Mariotti.
Mariotti.
It's
Moriarty.
Mariotti.
Taking a leave of absence and will cease serving as CEO.
Ooh.
What?
He's
Well,
pulling
if you
that
cease
cord.
doing your
He's
job,
trying to pull
then you're
that
not
cord
taking
on his
leave of
golden
absence.
parachute.
You've been
really is.
fired, boy.
Hey, we can't talk over each other, guys.
Yeah.
Randy, what was that?
Said he's trying to pull that cord on his golden parachute, and he's just waiting to see how it unfolds.
There you go. What you were saying, buddy?
I said, well, if you're no longer doing the job that you were hired to do, then that means you're fired. You know?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I mean, what if this double speak? I'm going to take a leave of absence and
Yeah.
cease serving. What? No, I
But
don't
dude,
understand.
like, that company has been losing money for the last year and a half, right?
Bad.
So maybe when he pulls the
Really
cord in
bad.
that golden parachute, it's gonna be like dirty underwear. Like I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough for this guy.
So
So the move
trust
was
me, if the CEOs they get their money. You know,
I would
if everybody
imagine
else
that's-
goes out, they'll get it.
Yep, that's why they're doing the leave of absence.
They'll
His
get their pound of flesh.
separation
Leave
is
of
under
absence.
discussion.
yeah, they got to
It-
figure out his severance.
It reminds me of that skit from George Carlin, where he's talking about soft language, leave of absence. Like you're canned.
Yeah. Shell shock.
Yes, that's
Battle
exactly
fatigue,
what's going on here.
PTSD.
Job is kaput.
So the move was made with the full support of Funko Board, of course. With the Funko Board of Directors, according to the company's announcement, Mariotti built the company into a global merch, including tabletop games, powerhouse. But its emergence from COVID has been painful. The company lost $61.1 million in its first quarter, which included a $30.1 million inventory write-off. That inventory write-off was, let's take these out to the field and burn them. That's pretty much what happened.
Dude, like,
That was the
being told-
write-off.
Being told out by the Funko board sounds like a Willy Wonka stuff. Like I would seriously consider exiting this world. It's like, yeah, I was railed by the Funko board. Dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's in
With the agreement of the board, that usually means, hey, don't let the door hit you on where the good Lord split you. You know?
Full support of the board. I wonder if the board was actually, dude, you got to go. It was the full support of the board. They're acting like this guy had something to do about him leaving.
The
About
whole board
leaving.
were like, bruh,
Yeah, just
you gotta go.
here's the language we're going to use. This is the news. This is a
Go
press
home.
release we're
You
going to
no
put
longer
out.
Work here.
Yeah, we're gonna let you save face.
So yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, these five guys over here on Nerd Bacon are like, he was canned. He was
Yeah.
canned. He's
He
not
was
saving face.
fired.
They let him go. They trumped him. You fired.
Mm-hmm.
I need to clip that if I could even find it.
You're
They're,
fired.
they're trying to scrub that
fired.
dude off the internet.
You're
You
fired.
could say that. You could say that
Goodbye.
board meeting wasn't fun at all.
Yeah.
There was no fun co.
The Funko board.
All right, so that was really bad, guys. I apologize. The role of CEO will be filled by director Michael Lunsford on an interim basis, and the company undertakes a search for a new CEO.
I heard
The
Melissa
role-
Heinerstein is free.
I heard
Yeah.
she
When they
was.
find that new CEO, Michael Lunsford, more than likely will also go on a leave of absence.
Yeah, dude.
He will
I mean,
also
with a
be-
name with
Time for a
Michael
vacation.
Lunsford, you should be playing like the Jugs and a Hillbilly ensemble.
How much you want to bet that the new CEO will be a dark-haired woman with a really high forehead?
Oh yeah, those are the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who their new CEO might be. I'm sure they're going to try to be profitable. Question mark.
Well, he's
But I
done
don't
this
know, like-
before.
No,
This is like
equity.
Beanie Babies
role-
all over again.
The role is a perfect fit for Lunsford,
Aw.
who has previously served as interim CEO of two public companies as they transitioned from the founders' tenures, Earthlink and Real Networks. Wait a
Okay.
second. Did both
I
of those
sense a
companies
pattern.
go bankrupt?
That sounds like tech companies, not toys.
Lunsford has had 6 previous CEO positions in all.
That definitely sounds like a pattern.
That's
That
a
sounds
hatchet man.
terrible.
That's
Yeah,
what
that
you call a
sounds terrible.
hatchet man.
Yeah,
right there.
exactly. This guy's a cold-blooded killer.
I'm telling you what, if Todd brings in Lunsford from my comic next week, I know I'm gone.
Yeah,
Darth Todicus, don't give him any.
yeah. They used to
don't
call him
give him
old cement shoes over there.
What the frick is Lunsford doing here?
Yeah. And
He's like,
gonna see the fishes.
we're going to talk about your leave of absence.
It's like those efficiency consultants in the office
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. Fire
So,
everybody. Okay.
So what? How much time a week do you spend on those TPS reports?
It's literally like a pod person replacement thing.
Yeah. Funko has been my labor of love for nearly 2 decades,
Aw,
Mariotti
Muffin.
said in a statement accompanying the announcement. While I'm going to step away from the day-to-day business to recharge my batteries, I plan to
that's how you
stay
call it.
active on our board. I hope to come back and contribute to Funko again in new creative ways. I look forward to seeing our team and fans at San Diego Comic-Con next week.
Yeah, from the other side of the line.
I have a story. We had a
Mariani.
music minister who we never could get rid of because he was the pastor's buddy, and so eventually he did something that even the pastor couldn't cover over, and so they finally let this guy go, but they're like, okay, we'll let you go out gracefully, you know. So he did like a greatest hits or whatever. And then for months afterwards, he was showing up at the choir. You know.
With sad puppy dogs, just like
Yeah, and he sat in the back, and everybody's like, "Okay, awkward."
Why are you here?
yeah, this guy,
Why are you
okay,
here?
this is annoying. Yeah.
We broke up.
Fired. You're fired. You broke up.
fired.
You broke up. Are you mental?
It's like that-
Are you mental?
It's like that girlfriend from Wayne's World.
Oh yeah, dude.
What? Didn't you like my gift? It was
I
a
don't
gun
have
rack.
A gun.
Why? I don't even have a gun, let alone many guns, which would necessitate an entire rack. You're mental.
A gun rack.
I have a question. When did you become a nut bar?
Yeah. that you
Well,
can remember.
the deacons finally left his stuff at the curb, you know, and said, "Okay, your stuff is at the curb. It's
time to go,
Change
time to
the
go."
locks. Go away."
They might have to change the locks on this old boy. So we finally got some numbers for June. Here we are halfway through July, and they finally decided to throw up some numbers. And again, we have to communicate this caveat that this is all taken from, what is that? This is the Book Scan channel. Oh, it's different. They've changed this is from a cross section of 12 stores over the 3 that are actually active, and that thing that they did. So let's look at this for ourselves. Top superhero graphic novels. Last Ronin, topping out at 8,451
That's a superhero
units.
book, all right. Yep. Absolutely.
Spider-Punk, 3,260. These are crowdfunding numbers, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are crowdfunded numbers. You know what? Let's check real quick.
Frank
I
Miller's
wanna
year
check
one.
something.
Oh my crap! How's that in the top 10?
How many books? How many units has he sold?
One of these things is not like the other.
He has sold
15,000?
10,800 of cover A,
Oh,
11,000 of cover B.
25,000.
He has sold, he has sold 3,600 of cover C and 1,488 cover D.
Man, cover D must be ass.
And they've donated.
Just the numbers. Nobody
If
Maybe
it
people
was,
just
it'd
don't
probably
cycle down
sell
far
better.
enough.
Anyway,
Yeah. Maybe people just don't cycle down far enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cover D is that rainy? That's not rainy.
No, that's not rainy.
No, that's not rainy.
That's not bad. That's a good.
It's,
color.
that's
King and
new.
white.
It's been added.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Probably why it's
Oh.
slower.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Everybody's
a little late
already-
to the game. Okay.
yeah. Everybody jumped on that that EVS cover. That was a popular cover. Well, it looked great too
Mm-hmm.
on the EVS cover.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boobs.
Boobs.
There is a reason they hate his guts. That's right there. There you go.
Man, I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hate everybody's guts. It's better at art than me. Not really.
I mean, yeah, that's the right
About the
fuel.
middle.
That's the right
That
fuel. I
is the
mean,
right
if you use
fuel.
it properly, it's
So yeah, I wanted some comparison.
Channel your hate. Channel your hate.
I wanted some comparison here.
Just me sitting in the dark here.
Wah,
Just
wah.
everybody else can draw better than me.
Wah, wah, wah.
Just sitting there grinding your ass.
yeah, with
Everybody.
a little candle. And just,
I hate
Everybody's
you
better than
all.
me.
I hate you all.
After they hit 25K sales and other covers, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, after he hit 25,000 in sales, he opened up another cover. And so it's newer. Reenie's got a cover.
Oh, nice.
That's up there. It's gonna be up there. Yep.
Oh, we can start
Okay, I'm
now.
here. You can start.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's
There you
start
go.
from the top. Throw the bacon in. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got
Even
you.
the
We got you, buddy.
people,
Don't worry.
video, everything.
That's a nice reference. Man,
Yeah,
a lot of
Wayne's
Wayne's
World.
World references going on
Yeah.
today.
Seriously, yeah. Wayne's World, party on.
It's
Party time.
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we can't find references that are actually modern.
Dude, we're old.
No.
Here you go.
Do we really want to find references that are modern?
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Are there any like modern comedies worth watching? Are there any modern comedies at all? Like I don't see anything coming up.
We're just
No.
gonna go back. We're all going back. We're just gonna take
Yeah.
the time machine. We're going back.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So
We're done.
Every time I watch
Bingo.
the nightly news, I think that's kind of a comedy show.
Well, yeah, but you laugh at them, not with them.
Yeah, but it's a
That's
dark
true.
comedy. It's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Dark
dark.
comedy.
So we were laughing at this morning just before
I
the
don't
show.
know. I
So
feel
let's-
quoted when people say dark comedy for some reason.
Well, it's
All
like
right.
Brazil.
Mm.
Brazil dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day it just gets worse and worse
No.
and worse.
to be fair, I do want to mention that. Okay, this is just 1 month's sales.
Okay.
This book has been out longer,
Yep.
and obviously its first month available, it had higher sales. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some of these, though, it is their first month. Spider-Man Miles Morales, Volume 1, 1,700 copies.
Nobody likes Miles, I guess.
Year Batman Year One is in the top 10.
Oof.
That book is like what, mid 80s, late
Ooh.
80s.
20,
Yeah.
23, 24 years old. Yeah.
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 So here we go. Here's some
Graphic novels?
manga.
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 Demon Slayer. Kimetsu no Yaba. I can't even say this crap, man.
Kimetsu no Yaba.
Thank you. 17,800 units of that moved last month. Dragon Ball Superpower 18. 15,000 units of that moved. Goodbye, Eri. 12,000 units. Spy X Family Volume 1. 11,897 units. Just under 12,000 units on that one. Then you finally get to Spider-Man. 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 Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Fake Red by Viz Media. Spider-Man has got a Viz Media manga out.
Manga.
Look at that.
According to Schism over there, Demon Slayer actually ended.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
is it?
That's probably
Yeah.
So,
So
this,
a manga
old
that
stuff,
has
yeah.
ended is total
Outselling.
sales is bigger than the top 20 of Western comics right now.
That's sad.
wow.
Quack, quack.
Well, that is
Context,
ridiculous.
folks, context. It's
Wow.
even sadder.
Only 5 times over. It's okay.
Yeah.
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 Maybe it went on sale.
Bud Liquor, our prices have never been lower.
All right, and then we also have the top 20 author graphic novels.
Okay.
So we're
look
looking
at
at
that Laura Olympus number. Holy
Lord
crap.
Olympus,
Mm.
39,781
Cake.
units moved
very
last
nice.
month.
I honestly hope that she's making good bank off of this.
I hope so
Yeah.
too. I really
They
do.
deserve it. Yep.
There's a lot of middleman to get through before she gets her money, though.
Yeah.
That's a volume,
that-
yeah. That's a volume 4 hardcover and a volume 4 regular are in the top 2 slots there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She owned that one. Way to go, Rachel.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Proud of you.
Yeah, I sincerely hope she has a good deal
Yes.
out of all of this. I
Yep,
sincerely
me too.
hope that.
Yeah.
The next third place is at 7,000.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Look,
Lord's Decay? Seriously? They
What?
call us enemy. Oh my god.
What?
Race
close to
bait.
50,000
Race
units. Her
bait.
book moved
Mm-hmm.
in 1 month, and then the
Yep.
next step down is
Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Modal Sao Shus Evil. Oh, man.
well, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, dude, I don't
One
know.
thing about that they call us enemy is I wonder if anywhere in that comic book he's going to point out the FDR was a Democrat.
Of course.
Probably.
So it looks like we're finally seeing some news reported on crowdfunding, but of course it's the green site. It's not going to be
Yeah.
the pink site, which has a lot of conservative voices on it,
Yeah.
nor this up and
The
coming new
heathens.
website that is really making
The
waves.
black and
right now.
gold.
Yeah, dude. We're the
Black
we are
and
the
gold.
Jibaros of the hills.
Kickstarter Comics campaigns are up in the first half of 2023.
Oh, very good.
17.6 million pledged so far this year. That is a huge number. That is a huge number.
Wow.
The comics sector of Kickstarter finished the first half of 2023 on an upswing, with the total number of launches up 14% from the first half of 2022. The success rate of comics campaigns remains stable at 78%, and pledges from backers totaling 17.6 million, up 22% from 14.4 million in the same time period of last year. Not all pledges are collected, as backers only have to pay if the campaign is successful. A total of 1,171 comics projects made their funding goals, up 13.5% from last year, but let's see how many of those fulfill.
Uh-huh.
That is always the question. That's the worry.
Yep.
In terms of
Double
geographical
that.
distribution, 72% of the comics projected originated in the U.S., alongside 11% from Great Britain, 5% from Canada, 1.8% from Italy, and 1.6% from Australia. The top comics projects for the first half of 2023 were The Expanse Dragontooth, which made
Rings a bell.
$1.4 million. Had never heard of it.
The
How to
Expanse?
think
Never heard
when
of The
you draw.
Expanse?
The Expanse
Yeah,
is
I've heard of
awesome,
it.
man.
I've heard of it. I'm being
Oh,
being
you've
an
been
ass.
facetious.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of How to Think When You Draw.
I've
No.
never heard of that.
And they're
In
on
fact, I
volume
find
6.
it's best.
Like,
I find
Not
it's
to.
best not to think when you draw. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
yeah.
You plan before.
You
I
plan
do
before
most
and
things
then you
without
just draw.
thinking.
We know.
So, yeah.
The announcement was
Surprising no
unnecessary.
one.
The announcement was unnecessary.
True.
Power Rangers, a 30th anniversary comic book celebration. Yes, I've heard of that one.
With Bootsy Collins.
Lady Death, Cybernetic Desecration, and Megalith. Those are
It's an
your
old
top four.
continuity character.
I do
No,
want to say that,
probably
look, yes,
Yeah.
The Expanse made a lot of money,
Yeah.
but that is so that How to Think When You Draw Nobody's talking about freaking Eric July.
No, they'll
His
never do
second
that.
book is going to
What's this?
easily make $2 million.
This is all Kickstarter, though.
Yeah, this is all-
Right, but
yeah.
why not talk about the EVS has numbers like that.
You're going to
Oh.
encourage
Elephant
people to
in
go
the
off
room.
on their own and make their own site. No, that
No.
can't happen.
Right, yeah.
That's
Don't do
that's
that.
like supporting.
Painted Death is doing great on Bancroft's own website. So look, if you're not going to use Fund My Comic, I suggest that you make your own website. Like I think I think having your own website that you can do it from is the best option for you if you have the audience. If you don't, if you want a place where people can browse, Fund My Comic, because we have the browse option that is actually not dictated by.
And if you're going to set up your
Stupid
website,
crap.
consider a widget from Fund My Comic.
You can even do that.
There we go.
So 3 of these projects were from. Man, someone needs to edit this freaking web. It needs a space. 3 of these projects were from traditional publishers. The Expanse, The Dragon Tooth is from Boom, and Power Rangers Anniversary is from Boom. Megalith is from Bad Idea. Might have been a bad idea.
Bad idea.
How to Think When You Draw, Volume 6, is the latest in the series of campaigns for the How To franchise. The most recent one was the top Kickstarter comic campaign of 2022. Brian Polito's Lady Death was also on the top 15 earnings in 2022, as was his Hell Witch. If you take all of Brian Polito's earnings, he's killing everyone over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he
right.
is a beast.
He has
But
the
he's been at
consistency
it.
now. Yeah.
He's been
And he's-
working for
yeah.
years at this. Yeah.
He has been hustling. He's done a great job.
Yep.
And he is independent, like truly
Yeah.
independent, right? Two of these 4 are from major studios. You know, that's from Boom.
Are you calling Boom a major studio?
Well,
Right now, I mean, the state of things are,
I
yeah,
don't know.
like huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's humor me,
Okay.
humor me. That they're certainly more major than IDW right now.
Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
they didn't
Granted
they like manage the Keanu campaign too?
Yeah, the Berserker.
Berserker. So
Yeah,
dude,
that was
they're,
Boom.
yeah, they're staying afloat.
Boom.
There you are.
Mic drop.
So
Good points.
So
and remember, comics are awesome.
Yes.
yeah, a word from our sponsor, guys. One moment here. Get a little word from our
Comics are awesome.
Speaking about being awesome, none of that awesomeness compares to the fact that Pedro is knows what Funkadelic is.
Oh, of course, dude. I'm a huge P-Funk
Parliament Funkadelic.
tournament.
Hamalana.
Exactly.
Hamalana.
Hamalana.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a second. Massive to publish Sean Gordon Murphy's updated take on Zorro.
Zorro.
Let's have a little fun with this. This
Yes.
cover is not the cover that was presented.
He's huge.
He's huge. But so here's some funny things. The company, Zorro,
Interpretive.
whatever.
Zorro Properties Inc. or whatever.
Yeah.
They messaged me
Did they?
through Fund My Comic, yeah. Because we have a campaign over on Fund My Comic by this fella
TTP.
named Patrick Thomas Parnell.
Parnell.
PTP.
There it is.
Yeah. So he has got this different take on Zorro.
Yeah.
Zorro is in the public domain now.
Yeah, for
Right.
a while.
Yep. Has been for a
Yep,
bit.
has been for a bit, right? So, they are saying they have a trademark, right? But their trademark is for the logo,
Yeah.
you know, and basically that's all you can trade. You can't, you know, all of the stuff that he's using from Zorro is all public domain. Plus, the story is completely different, so it falls under parody laws as well. So they get hold of me. They're like, "Look, we, you know, this comic isn't sanctioned by us or whatever. They don't have any rights. Take it down. I'd already talked with Patrick, so we knew this was probably coming. And, you know, well, you guys know me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. Take a walk. I don't care.
Uncancelable.
Yeah, take a
Yeah.
walk.
Take a hike.
So I told him, I said, yeah, we'll look into it. And then I got back with him a little bit later. I said, look, I said all of our legal advisors and, you know, our counsel that we had, take a look at it. And it turns out that, you know, he's not using any copyrighted images, and the story falls under parody, as well as anything he did use with the character of Zorro falls under public domain. And you can use the name because that was in the lawsuit in 2018 that company lost in California about the musical that said Zorro and the something. So, you know, you can't say anything about the title. And so I said, you're going to have to take that up with the Riot Press. So I thought it was funny. But what's going around on social media is this cover. So Patrick's take on Zorro uses this sugar skull type thing, which I find very,
We're under
very
attack.
interesting.
Yeah.
Which I find very interesting. A very unique take on it,
He
right?
uses the De La Muerte.
Dia de los
Muerte.
Muertos. Dia de los
De la
Muertos.
muerte.
De La Muerte.
How was that accent,
They're
Pedro?
also called
Better than
mariquitas. They're really good, man. Really good.
We'll just call you Morty. We'll just call
Yeah,
you Morty.
Morty.
Oh,
Morty.
jeez.
That's how you really white that thing up, isn't it? Right there, Morty.
Sorry, I was reading the article. Holy crap.
They call him Morty. Yeah.
Can you read that article for me there, Randy?
Sure. Massive Publishing will publish Sean Gordon Murphy's Zorro, Man of the Dead, an updated take on the classic pulp hero as a 4-part comics miniseries that will be available to the direct market, as well as a prestige collected edition that will be available only on the Green Channel.
Yeah.
Both the series and the Kickstarter will launch in October. This is funny. I'm trying to read this with a straight face. The idea for this book is Don Quixote meets Narcos in a contemporary setting, Murphy said in a statement accompanying the announcement. Diego is a young man who's convinced that he's Zorro.
But he's black. Oh, okay.
As a child, he had a psychotic break because you can't be a hero and not be nuts.
Nope.
He had a
Bingo.
psychotic break after witnessing the murder of his parents. Where did you get that idea? By the drug cartel in his village. To cope with the trauma, he embarks.
God.
He
Who wrote
embraces.
this?
Excuse me. He embraces the 200-year-old legend of Zorro by putting on a mask and training with a sword and waging a war against the narcos to free his people. Massive announced the launch of its flagship title in May with another Murphy project, The Plot Holes.
Okay. Whoever
Wow,
wrote this,
that describes it
Still,
right
is he
there.
still something that?
whoever wrote this
Yo.
needs to spend a little bit of time down here to know what happens when a kid sees his family killed by guerrillas or narcos. They turn into guerrillas too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like this rubbed me the wrong way. Like, ugh.
Right.
How many
right.
Hollywood pitches do you think Murphy's done? You know what this is? This is Don Quixote meets the narcos
So
only
this-
in a contemporary setting. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And
Sean
he's
Gordon
nuts.
Murphy pretty much copied this.
He's
I,
not-
I can't see any other evidence to support anything other than swiping on this. So this cover's been around for a while.
Yeah.
You know, he ran this originally on Indigo, on Pink and Green site, and funded it. And then so there's this cover now with very much reminiscent of this. And so PTP has been giving him some hard time on social
he
media
should.
about that.
No,
as he should, yeah, as he should. So here's the synopsis for this one. A strange cult has risen from the shadows. Children have gone missing, and it is up to one man to find out where they've gone. A stuntman living and working in the city discovers there's a dark underground. A dark underground behind the scenes. Zorro and the Phantasm Cult of Hollywood Hills, 1955. A classic character reimagined by Riot Press. So,
it's not because PTP head is one of us or whatever, but dude, this rings more like a pulp adventure.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And,
just-
and somebody doing something out of heroism.
Yeah,
Yes.
the thing with the other premise is that even though they're trying to be heroic, it's a little bit out of touch. You know what I mean? Because they don't know how things really work.
Are you saying Sean Gordon Murphy's out of touch?
I don't know. I don't know if he wrote this
Well,
story.
there's mental
yes, I'm
illness
saying
all
that.
in Sean Gordon Murphy's work. I mean, everything's about mental illness with him.
Yeah, dude.
You
and
know?
that's the thing, dude. Like dealing with narcos, like, dude, this has been a fight for over 60 years down here against those people, and there's always somebody propping up. The problem is not that people are evil. The problem is that after a certain point down here, socially you can advance because you're not part of the like families that are supposed to be up there. So
Yeah.
that's why this parallel, basically, society exists, and that's something that's not going to be. Like getting rid of drugs is not the solution. It's getting rid of the system we have down here, which is like a freaking like we inherited that from the caste system that the Spanish and the French imposed on everybody down here. So it's just dude. This is just completely out of touch, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Screw that.
It kind of reads like Sean Murphy in the focus group. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, when I read the summary of his plot holes, was just god awful, and I decided not to back it because I'm like, if this guy can't write a summary, then
Yeah, you can't write a book. Yeah.
yeah.
What are the odds?
Like, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Who knew?
I should know what this book's about, and I got to the end of a summary, and I had no idea what it was about,
Mm.
and I'm like, I'm sure the book's going to be just as illuminating,
Yeah, on the very real problem of narcos.
Got to throw the dog a biscuit.
Yeah,
There we go.
There you
Do
go.
it.
Welcome, John Douglas. Got John
Hello,
Douglas in the house over here.
hello.
Also got Grey Wolf Graphics has joined us. Welcome. File 13 has joined us as well. Hello, nerds. I'm making my final pages for my comic, and it should be done in the next few weeks. Thanks, Bunny. You inspired me to make this comic for sale immediately when complete. Way to go. Way to go.
Nerds.
Luke Stone Studios, what is the maximum number of pages I can do? 6 by 9 through FMC. You can do as many pages as you want, man. Don't confuse Fund My Comic with Iron Age Distribution. Two different entities.
Yeah.
Yeah, two different entities. You do whatever you want on Fund My Comic, and you have parameters to work in for Iron Age Distribution to be able to use that.
Yeah.
Let me see what else.
Isn't
we
it
got
most
going on.
printers will tell you to keep to a page count in eight page segments
8-page segments. Yep,
Yeah.
that's the best way to go.
for their
Wise
printing
Guys
purposes.
Entertainment is here. Hail, what's up?
Hail.
Hello.
Huge.
Huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Sorry that Sean Gordon Murphy's cover is not good. It's not the best. It's not as good as
No.
PTP's. And
He is
I'm not.
huge on the cover though. Look at
Yep.
that. He's running over that car.
Yeah.
Those are so
seriously.
big.
Yeah,
So you're
right.
saying the summary had holes
it had holes,
and you couldn't
It
follow
had-
the plot?
Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well,
I
it
think
sounds
the
like he did his
summary had
job.
plot holes in it. Yeah.
We lost Pedro.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, he got real sick of this.
He disappears from
we
time.
started
Clearly
talking about
this-
Narcos and he's gone.
Clearly,
Uh-oh.
this was
Yeah,
offensive.
just
It's time to feed the chickens.
Clearly, to
Oh.
anybody that's had family killed by narcos, this is
Yeah, yeah.
offensive.
Oh yeah, that's offensive. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're not really going to read this, but we're going to make note of this. I find it ironic. From mail order to brick and mortar stores to e-commerce, direct market pioneer, Buddy Saunders is still adapting. You know what? I think that, as we look back, especially articles like this, that look back on the way things used to be, instead of looking ahead to the way things are or where things are going, I think that can get problematic. I know this article tries to do that, looking to the future, but talking about how much things have changed. But what are your guys' thoughts on the direct market. Do you think the direct market's going to survive any of this?
Well, I think there's always going to be a direct market in some way, shape, or form, because everybody wants physical medium because it's something to possess. It's a possession. It's not nebulous, and I don't know that comic book shops are going to be around, but physical medium is never going to go away.
Well, the physical medium, the direct market is the comic book shops.
Yeah,
Like, that's what the direct market is.
right.
Whenever we refer to direct market, that's what anyone's talking about.
Which is really funny because crowdfunding campaigns is more of a direct market than the direct market is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is definitely.
So
If you look at units moved and money raised, just in the last 4.5 months from Fund My Comic alone,
yeah.
it's
I agree with T
huge.
Bunny. You're never really going to see all of the comic shops disappear. You're going to see the distributors do a major shuffle and keep shuffling as they run through their little problems, and a lot of those are self-inflicted. But the retailers, there's always going to be retailers out there in one form or another, even if they're not getting new comics. There's still going to be comic shops or media shops out there.
And
Well,
they're-
Wes from Thinking Critical pointed this out. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
but,
you're good.
He was talking about that that DC was finally getting some movement on some of their properties. There was finally, they had new writers in. There's a new storylines and some like the Green Lantern relaunch, and there's a Flash relaunch, and they started moving comics again, and suddenly they ripped it all up to do an a company wide event that is not going to have any long term effects on anything, and it's like it just like ruined the momentum of everything that they started to build, and they're doing this like several times a year, and nobody even knows why, but there's every time they gain momentum, they do some some company wide event with some hack writer that and just it never really has any effect on anything, and Marvel's does this exact same thing, and it's just killing.
It looks
the
like
company.
Marvel's trying to find some new market here by featuring the young tennis star Goff. What's her name? First name is Coco. This is the new variant cover for the Invincible Iron Man #7. Features the tennis star with Ironheart. If that is not one of the worst variant covers I've ever seen.
It's rough.
Yeah.
So, speaking about what Randy was speaking about before about the comic books, these you're, like they were saying, you're not going to get rid of all the comic shops, and one of the reasons why is they're going to be adapting in all kinds of ways themselves. They're business owners. A lot of these guys have, they have money saved up, right? They won't go down ever, but they're going to have to make major changes to keep in the market.
Yeah. But that's been going on for the last 30 years. These guys are having to adjust and adjust down and adjust down. The retailers, I mean, because of all of the hoops and the craziness that happens in this market.
Yeah, and if you're not used to that by now, you're probably not in business.
Yeah.
Right.
Does this article have anywhere where they have their Ontos?
I don't know. Valiant Comics former director of design and production, Travis Escarfullery, because he's foolery crap. I don't know. I'm joking. I don't know. He could be a lovely guy. Could be a lovely guy. Has recently taken to social media to unload the company's bad business practices. These are always fun, aren't they? The company has had an epic relaunch in 2012 with owner Dinesh Shamdasani bringing in key talent and creating innovation in a superhero shared universe that hasn't been done since the Silver Age of Marvel and DC Comics.
Just
5
a
years
second.
after.
Got to check my shoes on that one. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Didn't step in it.
What
Go
was
ahead.
that smell?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 5 years after Shamdasani's exit, the company has fallen to levels not seen since Valiant originally was canceled during Acclaim Entertainment's 1990s bankruptcy, with new claims that their talent is not getting paid what they're owed for work. We've heard this. Jim Shooter headed the original Valiant Comics in an effort to capitalize on the comic industry's boom in the early 1990s. The company created several hit characters, including XO, Man-O-War, Bloodshot, and Shadow Man. Valiant made history with one of the biggest crossover events in history, with a line-wide storyline titled Unity, which brought all the characters together.
That's when it all fell apart, too.
Shooter eventually left the company, but the company kept its lines going with quality comics until defunct video game developer Acclaim Entertainment bought Valiant in 1994. Several of the titles were relaunched, but they also benefited from marketing from video game adaptations. However, the quality of both turned out to be dubious. Dubious. So this is John Delarose that wrote this article. Yeah. And Acclaim filed bankruptcy in 2004, where the rights to Valiant characters were eventually sold to Shamdasani. The Valiant Comics relaunch was also a huge success. Shamdasani brought in heavyweight creators like Matt Kent, Jeff Lemire, Robert Venditti, Louis LaRosa, and Thomas, I'm going to mess it up, Giarello, to helm their books. And fans were pleased with the high quality art and storytelling. Valiant also innovated with special pre-ordered deals for comic shops where fans could reserve a full run of issues in advance and get special editions of their comics. So they were doing everything right. Right?
Sure.
Looks like that on paper.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 2018, Valiant's Golden Age revival came to a halt as Chinese-owned DMG Entertainment acquired the fledgling comic company. That's a good art. I like that. It's a good cover.
Yeah.
Upon the acquisition, CEO Dan Mintz assured fans and readers they wouldn't be making any wholesale changes, but that he would be adding writers familiar with the filmmaking process to make a smooth transition from comics to streaming and movie formats. They always fail when they start to do that, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
His promises never came to fruition as almost all of the artistic talent who had been working for Valiant left the company and began projects for Shad Dasani's new venture, Bad Idea Comics, which we just heard about. Bad Idea just did a thing.
There we go.
Hey, he's back.
He's back.
And he's back.
He had to go deal with some narcos.
No, dude, it's like my banana energy provider. Just they ran out of monkeys. They're replacing the
Banana.
monkeys. Yeah,
Bananas.
bananas.
Hey,
Oh, man, they mentioned Heather Antos.
Yeah, but
His promises. So,
You guys want
they went to
bananas?
Bad Idea. Mintz also hired controversial activist Heather Antos as an editor, who brought in a slate of artists and writers she'd worked with to the company. These were subpar and amateurish compared to the work Valiant produced before. Sales soon began to decline. Valiant cut back its productions on books, and the new incarnations of Ninja K and
Ninja.
XO Man-O-War upset fans.
Do you want
who pulled their
Arpol
support.
O'Neil? Because this is how you get Arpol O'Neil.
Yeah.
Ninja K.
Oh, but isn't it Ninjak?
Yeah,
No, it's Ninja K now. There's a dot.
Ninja K.
Oh man.
Somebody didn't
Wow.
catch that in the editing.
Yeah.
Did they,
I
did
like
they have that
Ninjak better.
god awful Ninjak that had like the
Oh,
like
the
80s video game art?
no, it was like dingbat art. It was
That
horrible.
was bad.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
Oddly known Ninjil.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, Ninja.
Yeah, Ninja. There you go.
Anyway.
The Valiant Comics fans Facebook group is Scarflurry and unloaded on the company's direction since DMG and Mintz took over.
What's
So far, after almost
story?
11 and a half years at Valiant, I'm now moving forward with them. I'm not moving forward with them, said the company's former director of design and production. What bothers me the most is that Dan Mintz stiffed me on my severance. Imagine that. The guy has zero class and can care less about anything because I don't want anything to do with the brand I'm selling off my books and merch at a discounted price. Ooh. Oh, and anyone who bought into NFTs, I would probably consider your money gone. And I can't forget about the Kickstarter he went on. Wow. One thing is for sure, I'm not building an AR cover or explaining how it's done. Wait, is that thing even close to going to the printer along with its add-ons? So he's throwing them under the bus.
Yep.
Yep.
Yikes.
That looks
Wow.
good on for a
You
company.
know, that's the thing. Like when the ship's on fire, people get desperate, and then like things come out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad that within 5 years, Dan ran the company into the ground. They went from 7 books a month to 1. Pulled XO for September to run Ninjak. Really screwed up with the NFTs thing. It was a money grab. Too much greed.
Yeah.
Now, a publisher has to get another publisher to print their books. Oh, XO4 has been sitting on the printer's servers since May. I do wish the 3 people left good luck.
Oh my god.
The 3 people.
Ouch.
I wish the 3 of you good luck.
Oh, Scarfuller is a name.
Look,
Okay.
this is the best part, though. Dan, your movie ideas are terrible.
Thanks.
And the fact you couldn't get anything done during the pandemic when the world was consuming content speaks volumes.
Dude, hit him with an
What?
anvil, will
It
ya?
really does,
Jesus.
man.
What a dig.
He went out
that-
swinging.
That
Yeah.
blood, that movie was bad. That movie is really bad.
That was like potato
Wow.
gun to the chest, man.
He
Yeah.
went out swinging.
And your breath smells funny.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
you're-
you've got a
and
little
you're-
wiener.
And your
I
children
don't
are
know.
ugly.
Your mother dresses you funny.
Yeah. Well,
So
speaking
Mark-
of your mother dressing you funny,
And your mother's a
Yeah,
hamster.
speaking of being dressed funny,
Yeah.
Marvel Comics to unsurprisingly revive Kamala Khan as a mutant.
I, for one, am so surprised.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Can you believe it?
I mean, I would
doing the
celebrate,
Kamala
but it would
Khan
be
thing.
considered racist.
The
so I
the
won't.
most uncool costume
Yeah.
in all of the MCU. And that's saying something
But
because
she's
most
covered.
of these
She is covered.
she is covered. Thank goodness they did
I
not
mean,
try to
she's a teen.
sexualize
She's
this
a teen,
teenager.
Yeah.
yeah, really.
If they'd have done
there-
that, I'd have been really pissed.
Yeah, there are ways
But-
to cover a character and make it look cool. This is just like school
Yeah.
uniform. I don't know what they were going for.
The actress is doing a fine job playing the character.
Mhm.
She really gets the source material,
Yeah,
you know?
and she's very endearing. Like I saw one episode.
She is.
Just because like they were talking about the partition of Pakistan and India, and I'm really interested in that topic. And dude, like she did a good job. The script was trash, but she did a great job with what was given to her.
Well, maybe they should have had somebody like be upset that actually knew her in the
Yeah.
comics. They actually
Yeah.
had like a continuity with her.
Yeah,
But
probably.
All those people
Mhm.
around her didn't even know who the hell she was.
Well,
she
she
never
used to
appeared
be
in the comic with them
stretchy.
before, you know?
They used to be
she's a
stretchy,
vehicle.
and they couldn't do that, you know, because they're trying to tie all the Marvels in together.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
but yeah, they're bringing her back as a mutant.
Yeah, her powers.
This costume does look a little bit better.
That's called a burkini. That's still weird.
Yeah.
Bikini, yeah.
Why can't they just bring her back as a zombie? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I would prefer
That would be cool.
zombies.
Yeah, zombie.
Would've been-
That'd make it
Yeah.
interesting.
Zombie
Like you didn't
Marvel.
know this was coming.
Mm.
I can
We
interrupt
didn't
here
think
for a
this
Even
was
second
this looks
because
better.
I
What
need to
she's
read the
wearing here.
chat here for a sec because it's hilarious. He got Russ. He's I've eaten too much sugar, and then at the end there he's like sigh.
Huh.
It's a roller coaster on
Check
the
the
show.
ads, watch your screen, be vigilant, be righteous, behave.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Let me see what we got going here. JDA at SDCC this weekend. Yeah, there's a few people over there. And Epic relaunch. Epic, you say?
Say,
Yeah. You?
Epic
say.
Retailers that went balls deep on Funko are surely reeling.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
so
I mean,
much-
like as a
so many
as a
wieners.
retailer, yeah,
So
as a
many
retailer, it's dude, it's a freaking nightmare. It's nothing is working, and it's a creativity problem. It's not really their fault. It's just that they can't move what they got. You know what I mean? Because people don't want it.
Yeah, here's what's happening with these digital things. Anything that's digital entertainment is always nebulous and subject to deletion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streaming services are deleting purchases, which is a real thing that's happening.
That's horrible. Like I bought
Yeah.
that movie on Amazon. Yeah, not anymore, baby.
Yeah, I lost everything I had on Comixology.
Dingbat art no good.
Yeah.
Dr. Mass
That's
would like to
Amazon,
know if,
though. They can pull any digital book you buy on Amazon. They can pull off your Kindle at any moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
was Ninja ever a good comic? Dr. Mask would like to ask. Ninja.k.
Never read it. Never read it.
I've never
Like,
read it myself.
Ninja
Yeah,
K,
Ninja.k. Yeah. Needed a Ninja real bad.
And then Jill.
The only thing I ever liked from Valiant was they did a fan movie with all the characters. The acting was kind of god awful, but it was
Yeah.
it's pretty entertaining.
Welcome,
Yeah.
John Celestri.
Hey, what's up, John? The master.
Comic strip storytelling is a completely different art form from live action animation films.
Yeah.
You would know.
Suits never learn
Learned that
that
lesson.
lesson.
So
You
true.
can say that
They only see the
a
Benjamins, man.
little louder for those in the back. But yeah, they try to convert the two. Jason Black says activists, work girlfriend, maybe. Self-involved Karen with poor grammar and writing skills. Dumpster.
Oh, dude, the work girlfriend was the worst.
I wouldn't have said activist.
Yeah.
He's trying to be nice there. He
Yeah.
doesn't really want to color an editor. He wants to try to be realistic. So
Well, Jordan White's former squeeze. We'll just say that much.
Yeah.
Ninjok?
And Joel.
Ninja.
Wise
that
guy
would
says,
be-
remember pencils down? Stupidest excuse to not work when it was the best opportunity to
Can
thrive.
you imagine, like
Absolutely.
Ninjak was French, like Nick Jock? And he'll be like all aloof. And I would save you, but I don't feel like it.
This one's going to upset you a little bit, guys.
Oh. No, not
DC
anymore.
Comics
you know.
to groom children with evil gender ideology at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh way.
I told you we
I'm
talked
not
about San Diego
surprised.
Comic-Con today.
Not surprised anymore.
John Trent writes this article over on Bounding into Comics. DC Comics plans to target and groom children with the objectively evil gender ideology during the company's appearance at the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con. In a press release outlining the company's plans for San Diego Comic-Con,
What
DC
takes me
revealed they
off
will-
is that kid's supposed to be 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They
In a
aged
press
him up so they could put him in a sexual relationship.
they did.
That's what it's creepy. It's so
Yeah.
damn
Yep.
creepy.
In a press release outlining the company's plans for San Diego Comic-Con, DC revealed they will have a
Presentation.
thank you,
Got
presentation.
DC books for young
Words
readers
are
on
hard.
Sunday, July
Words
23rd,
are so
from
hard.
11:15 to 12:15 exactly.
Books for
Burn
young
it all,
readers.
guys. Let's burn it
Is it-
all.
This
Why?
presentation will feature, quote, some of the creators behind the publisher's popular middle grade and young adult graphic novels, with exciting announcements about titles arriving soon, unquote.
This
The
doesn't
ones
look
that get
like it should
canceled?
go to young,
Yeah.
like come on.
You should go to
So
no
Tim
one
Drake
now.
is gay now, apparently.
You say popular, but I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah.
The presentation will
It's
feature
infamous.
Wyatt Benjamin Maines, a man who pretends to be a woman and calls himself Nicole Maines.
It's infamous. It's more than famous.
The character's name is Dreamer.
DC heavily promoted
Right.
DC heavily promoted Maines by having him play the character Dreamer, aka Nia Null, in the CW's Supergirl series, and more recently in the final season of The Flash. Maines has gone on to write a number of stories for DC Comics.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The company will be publishing an upcoming graphic novel by Maines titled Bad Dream, a dreamer's story. This is the book that Maines will showcase at San Diego Comic-Con. And one he confirms is pushing gender ideology on children through allegory. Maines previously discussed the graphic novel with IGN. Without revealing too much, there is a direct link between the alien communities and the queer communities, especially in Metropolis. They're both groups that people make unjust presumptions about and make assumptions. And as queer people are being legislated against, as are aliens in this universe. And so they find commonality in that.
This sounds so entertaining. You know?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Ooh, can't wait.
Sign me up.
He continued. But where Naya comes from, it's starkly different. It's a situation of, I've grown up in the sky. I'm grown up in this very, very diverse place, and where everyone is so different and everyone has their own stuff going on. Why am I the odd one out?
Because you are.
Oh, is that the art from the book?
Yeah, look at that, dude.
Oh, that's garbage.
Those broken clavicle.
Oh my gosh, that's
That
so bad.
sums it up.
Expertly done. Yeah.
Yeah, because people are still getting mohawks now. You know?
Yeah.
That soccer ball to the face pretty much sums up how I feel about the comic.
Yeah. Next, Maines admitted he's pushing the evil
River
ideology
kickball.
in the book through allegory. For me, it feels very much directly linked to the real world in the way that marginalized groups and even other members of the queer community find time in their own suffering and their own struggle to say, but we're still better than these people. We don't like it when we're discriminated against, but I believe it is completely justified if this group of people is discriminated against. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Where are they being discriminated against? They're being politically protected.
They're being,
And
I mean,
uplifted.
they're literally allowing biological men to compete against biological women. Man,
In fighting.
I would have loved to play on the
And
girls' team growing
and
up.
all this stuff that they're saying that they're being legislated against are the things that are keeping like pornography out of kids
At bay,
and not
yeah.
allowing them to take gender like gender.
And we're trying to get
mutilating
legislation
drugs.
to stop the mutilation of kids before.
And that's somehow,
like-
if that is what's oppressing you, then you're the bad guy.
Yeah. So the problem is with puberty blockers, they are lying and saying that they're reversible. They are not reversible.
No.
You cannot
No.
reverse them, and that is
No coming
why.
back.
Like, is it Sweden? One of the countries that was at the forefront of gender
Netherlands.
stuff.
Sweden
They've
and the
started to,
Netherlands, I think.
yeah, they've started to back. They've started to back up on these things
Back
because they've
out, yeah.
realized they're like, whoa, we're hurting people. We've got enough information now. This is not healthy.
Yep.
And I mean, can we just stop for a second and say, let's not F up our kids
Yeah.
mentally and physically? Let's give them a
don't
chance
know,
to
man.
grow up and then
if you
figure out
see-
what they want.
If you see that like attempt to not F up kids as attack on you, then
Yeah.
you must be trying to F up kids.
You know what?
I don't
What's
have
an
a
attack on
problem
me?
with. Look, my uncle was a drag queen. I don't have problems with drag queens. He used to do the thing, right? But he didn't go to the library.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
find
go-
out he was a drag queen until I was an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
As a
you know
kid,
what
I
really-
never knew.
What's making me suffer right now? That Jello Mold City. Look at
Oh,
Look at
that's
that
so
back
bad.
That's rough, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, this is so bad. And that lack of self-awareness in their own situation drove some of the inspiration behind building Parthis because, of course, in the show, it was this very utopian, very idyllic place to grow up. But I think it's more possible. It's more possibly realistic if in this diversity, they still find time to put someone at the bottom of the food chain.
Oh god.
And that person being Nia, or Naya, which is another driving factor in why she is so ready to leave. Victim.
Hey,
I'm a
let's
victim. I'm
do
a victim.
an
Look,
exercise.
look,
Let's
you were
see-
born.
Let's see
I-
how many of the gender studies ideology we can cram
Maine,
into
Maine
one
is
paragraph.
Caucasian. Am I? I do
saw-
believe Maine's Caucasian, correct?
I have no idea.
I guess.
I believe.
I saw a dude doing like hard labor, like shoveling coal or whatever, with a missing leg and a crutch holding his leg up the other day. These guys aren't at the bottom of the food chain. You know, like
No,
there's
they're
no
not.
there's no adversity there.
Visit
Look, you were-
Appalachia.
You were born a white man in America. You're doing pretty damn good.
Dude,
I'm
like,
just saying.
when are these guys gonna take a trip to Benin so they can see like small child looking for lapis lazuli, like 60 feet
Santa
underground?
Grace's Superman Harvest of Youth also appears in
They're so into
Circumspect,
victimhood.
as it claims a grounded and heartbreakingly human story about the legendary Superman as a teenager finding his place in a world filled with death and hate without losing sight of his greatest power, hope.
Cena Grace. No Lord.
Man, we're in trouble, guys.
We're not.
Yeah, we are.
Oh no, they're
You know, if this is if this is what is being passed
gonna-
off as good comic book art, we're in trouble.
They're gonna get the sales they deserve.
Like, that's so bad.
Nah, dude.
Damn.
This
It
is
looks like a webtoon.
It's rushed. It's just.
So anyway,
This is
I mean,
no
we've,
page rate.
I don't think DC is learning. I don't think they saw what's happened with. They didn't see what happened with Target. They're not seeing what's happened with Bud Light. They're not seeing what's happened with Starbucks. They're not taking the thing. People are sick of this being shoved down their throat.
Yeah.
They're sick of this stuff. You know.
I mean, they don't take the signs seriously.
they're
so
tired
good
of it.
riddance. Yeah.
they're tired
But
of it. It's not.
also
Is that-
keep in mind though, these large corporations, with the way that they do business, it takes them about 18 months to steer in any different
Yeah.
direction.
Mhm.
So they're just now starting to look at their sales figures and going, maybe this ain't working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Maine's
my God.
quotes are exhausting. I'm like,
Yeah.
my gosh,
They are
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
his sentence
Agree.
structure is so jacked.
Just a word salad.
Yep. Lord
just
help this artist
exhausting.
get some talent.
Yeah.
I could write that for him. I know we all know the gender ideology terms. We all know them.
Yeah, they knew
Weird.
changing the AI could write that for him.
Yeah.
More than likely.
They knew changing the hormones of a child would destroy a child. They still cashed the checks from the manufacturers. Of course they did.
Money and drugs
Evil
Yep.
people.
and operations. Yep.
Must
It
push
doesn't-
eugenics to the selectively do population control. Yep.
Yeah, our own vice
Canada.
president actually said we need population control.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Vice
Welcome to
president.
Immortal Rising Comics in the house. We got Aaron C. They're suffering. What about our suffering? This garbage.
Well,
Well,
really,
is that
it's
a
the
wiki
retailers and
illustration?
the box stores that are going to suffer from having these books on the shelves and not seeing them move.
Yawn.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
dude.
was looking at the art on that thing. It looked like the whole city was just slightly off balance. Like,
Yeah.
Russ, I think it's because they're not paying enough to get good artists.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Like they are part of their own trap. They fell on their own trap. They got
Yeah.
rid of people who knew how to do it. They got like the activists. I have a friend who draws, kind of thing. That this how this feels. Like it's a friend who draws.
Hey,
somebody's
I
cousin.
Facebooked his mom. Russ's mom.
Huh.
Dude,
The
look at
bots
these
are coming. The bots are coming.
Mark Gunn and what's his name also overseeing DC Comics. I don't know.
No,
But here, this will be fun for you. Kathleen Kennedy rumored to stay on at Lucasfilms because no one wants the job.
I can believe that.
A new rumor claims that Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy will stay on her position despite her disastrous leadership of the studio.
Dude.
The latest rumor comes after Lucasfilm's latest box office endeavor, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Poop, bombed at the box office. The film has only grossed $131 million at the domestic box office and another $126.7 million internationally for global gross of $257.7 million. Still a lot of money, but it didn't make them any money.
No, but the thing is,
Because
it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money taking into account how much they spend making the movie.
the
How much
estimated
was it?
production budget was $300 million.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Box
There you
office
go.
analyst OMB Reviews predicts the film is unlikely to reach 400 million globally,
No.
and thus it will likely cost Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Company about $250 million.
A quarter of a billion.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's money they don't have.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
They
And
still
the-
got to
the
pay
thing is, like,
Comcast.
Yeah, dude. The thing is, like, I don't know, man. This. Thank you, Truck. No, dude. Like, she managed to destroy Indiana Jones. She managed to destroy Star Wars. Even Willow. That dude. How can you mess up Willow? She messed it up.
Oh yeah, she
It's intentional.
butchered Willow.
It's intentional.
Yeah,
Whiskey's
it's
right.
intentional. But the thing is, like, who's gonna come?
She's
on
the
and-
Heather Antos of
Yeah.
of production.
You're the-
And those
movies.
expenses, those
And then
expenses
she's like,
Indiana
well,
Jones,
I
that's
have
her
to
style
stay
of
in a job
production.
because nobody wants it.
Yeah, dude, but that
yeah,
those
nobody wants it
expenses
because you
on Indiana Jones-
screwed it up so bad.
Yeah,
Maybe that was your strategy all along.
yeah, dude. But the thing is, like, what I want to say is, like, those expenses on Indiana Jones, that's her style of production. Like, constant reshoots, recasting, firing directors.
Well,
That
she's
all
been
needs
funneling
money.
money into the acolytes.
Mhm.
So she's taking money off of these other budgets. And instead of putting them in those projects, she's moving them over to the acolytes, which is going to be another huge failure
Well,
because
that's
her
if it
name's
comes
attached
out.
to it.
That's if it comes out. It might not even exist.
Huge
It's what
film.
they're trying to figure out.
Well, you
So,
can't. You can't.
There's only
build-
a couple of small clips, from what I understand, that they've actually filmed, but they've poured hundreds of millions of dollars into the production.
Yeah. So the question was asked, is Kathleen Kennedy getting fired? And told that no one wants the job. So likely not happening. No one wants her job.
Yeah, but this is like a new level of loserdom. You know what I mean?
Meanwhile,
From
When
what
you
I've
screw it up
heard,
so
she's
bad,
on a
nobody
leave
wants
of
it.
absence until her contract expires.
Mm,
And in the
okay.
meantime, everybody's running their own departments without her, which
So it's a headless
should have
chicken.
made the stock go up, quite frankly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a headless chicken situation now.
Well,
Right.
what kind of a chicken did you have there before? That's the thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
meanwhile, A Sound of Freedom.
Uh-huh.
Let's find a good article here.
Go
Is
Jesus.
killing it.
Over
They
100
are.
million this
Yeah.
last
There you go.
weekend.
5 times the budget.
Yep.
Yeah, so NPR, why QAnon supporters are promoting. Guys, I did a survey on where you heard about QAnon for the first time. I heard about it from weirdo lefties, like extremists, and the media. I've never heard of anyone actually.
Yeah.
I don't know
dude,
anybody that's a part of this thing.
I've never been to QAnon. Like, do they have a website? What are they?
No, it was a thread on Reddit
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
a long time ago. It's
Yeah,
not
dude.
been active in years and years and years.
That's a
Back
strong
during
man.
the
It was the
Trump
first one that
administration,
posited the Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, talking about
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary
using that
Clinton.
pizza
It's
store or
kind
whatever.
of like it's got Gamergate. They keep bringing Gamergate up, and Gamergate hasn't been active in about over
yeah.
a decade now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
only Christian outlets are talking about this, and conservative outlets are talking about it. So this is from July 18th. This is the Catholic news thing. Sound of Freedom, an anti-human trafficking film made by Catholic filmmakers. Eduardo, can you say that last name for me? How would you pronounce that?
Sure, I will. Eduardo
Monteverde.
Verástegui. No, Verástegui.
Verástegui. Yeah.
Verástegui.
Yeah,
it is
Verástegui.
Verástegui.
That's a Basque name.
And Alejandro
Monteverde.
Montevedre.
Monteverde.
I can't roll my R's. Monteverde.
There
Monteverde.
you go. That's good. That's good.
All right, tried it. Got close enough.
Mhm.
What's that? Is that translated like something green?
Just
No,
like my
green.
first
Oh,
time.
it would be like Green Hill. Alejandro Green Hill.
And starring a Catholic actor, Jim Caviezel, continues to. I don't know that he's Catholic. I don't know that he
Yeah,
said he's
yeah,
Catholic.
he's
I just know
Christian.
he's-
I think he's Christian, but
or
not,
he's
not
just
Catholic.
Christian. But it's Catholic news, so everybody's Catholic. Catholic also means
We do that.
universal.
We claim everybody.
So you know, Catholic. When they say the Catholic Church, that Catholic actually means universal. Yeah, everybody. They're all. Here we are. The film currently sits behind the new Mission Impossible at the number 2 spot, which still baffles me that it's as close as it is.
Yeah.
Beating out other expected summer hits according to the Box Office Mojo. Sound of Freedom was released in theaters across country on July 4th and had an incredibly successful opening day in which it
July
reached
the
number
4th.
1
July
Yes.
the 4th.
at the box office.
It reached number 1 on less theaters than Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's not surprising at all.
And it made $14.24 million.
There's a story where the Verestigi they managed to buy it back from Disney, who had sat on it for 5 years.
Yes.
And
It was
but they
finished in 2018, but it was
Yeah.
dropped after Disney bought the studio.
Right,
Only after being
20th
acquired by
Century
Angel
Fox.
Studios, yeah.
But but he was sitting there. He could not find a distributor, and they were at the end of the rope. They tried everybody, and they prayed, Lord, send us an angel, because we need to save this movie. And the next call was Angel Studios.
Really did.
Yeah.
Really did.
But,
send them an
I think the prayer was like, Lord, please help me destroy Indiana Jones. I want to destroy Indiana Jones so bad.
Well. Funny thing about
In
it is
your
that
name, I
first phone
declare I
call-
want to destroy Indiana Jones.
Well, that first phone call, Angel Studios, he's like, oh, when are you going to release it? And he's like, we want to release it on the 4th. And they're like, on the 4th? Are you kidding? And he's like, no. He says, because The Sound of Freedom needs to be released on Independence Day.
Yes.
Made sense, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's like,
look, so here's what it did. In over 1 week, the film increased its weekly gross revenue from $20 million to $27 million, totaling a gross revenue of $85.5 million since
that's
its
an old
opening.
article. Yeah,
This
they're
is an
over
old one.
100
Yeah,
now.
this was as of the 18th.
Yep.
It was 2 days
like,
ago.
those guys, they spent $14 million making that movie. They're already in 85, so
Yeah.
with that, they have like over 20-something million in.
And this is
like,
primarily a Hispanic crew. It's
Yeah.
Hispanic.
Dude, I have
director,
friends who
Hispanic
acted.
writer. Yeah,
I have friends who acted in that movie. There's
yeah.
a Colombian actor that lives in Panama. He's in that movie.
And while they were shooting the movie, Tim Ballard's crew was down there helping them shoot that movie.
Mhm.
They were approached by traffickers, and they were able to do a sting while they were down there and save kids.
Yeah,
So-
dude. The thing is like that is so like widespread. Like
It is
they
nuts.
do
It's
it in
nuts.
every country down here. It's a nightmare. You have to really like pay attention to where your kids are and who they're with.
This money is not for overseas. It hasn't been released overseas yet.
No, it just been released like this weekend down here in Panama.
Yeah,
And
and
everybody's
it's going to
watching
be
it.
huge in Latin America. It's going to be
Oh, yeah,
gigantic
dude.
in Latin
Mhm,
America.
mhm, mhm. They can say that we're huge in Latin America.
There you go.
Look, the QAnon, the QAnon adjacent
bump.
Sound of Freedom box office success.
I set him up. He knocked it down.
This one's
There you
funny. This one's funny.
Uh,
Box office success, The Sound of Freedom, an action film about child trafficking, really shouldn't be a big surprise.
okay. I'm interested.
God's children are not for sale,
Oh, this
says
is
the
a
hero
great
of the
line.
movie, Sound of
Great
Freedom.
line. Yeah.
The box office hit about a former Homeland Security agent who goes rogue to save children from sex trafficking.
I mean, if you have to go rogue to save children,
right.
what does it say?
Yeah, that says
This
a
is
lot,
the
doesn't it?
world we live in,
Yeah,
guys.
dude, what
Yeah.
the hell?
This
man?
is
Exactly.
welcome to our new hell.
Yeah, dude.
This is it.
Oh my god. And it's in the little things when you notice, like, dude, these guys are fucked up.
Oh yeah.
The budget for this was $14.5 million,
Yeah.
and it has made $90 million so far. By far, this is going to help produce more films for this company,
Yep.
for these people, and you're going to see more and more quality content coming out
Yeah, with values.
with values, with that has something to say.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, very good.
Meanwhile, Kathleen Kennedy is destroying these great loved franchises. And yeah, they made more money, dollar for dollar, than these guys.
Yeah.
But these guys figured out how to turn a profit.
Yeah, but yeah, the thing is like making more money is not making a profit.
Yeah.
It's not the
This is
same
like
thing.
David and Goliath
Mm-hmm.
kind of views here. You know,
Yeah.
it's they should not have taken down the box office in the reviews for The Sound of Freedom have been amazing, and the reviews for Indiana Jones have been meh at best.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
That's the
I
thing. Like,
saw
I
a
don't
guy
know.
review it today, and he
Uh-huh.
was talking. He's like, he gave like a very detailed review of the movie, and he said that yeah, there's some pacing problems and it's a little disjointed because it's a true story, and they followed the narrative of the true story, and so yeah, there were some things that weren't exactly like smooth going through it. He says, but the acting is there and everything. When they hit it right on the head.
I guess
every
it's actually
time.
crossed 100 million now.
Yeah, it has. It has. That was announced yesterday.
Very
John
cool.
says, I went to go see Oppenheimer, and the movie was full of hot blondes and lots of pink. Worse,
What?
there was no explosions.
Maybe you were watching.
I think you went to the wrong one.
You went to the wrong
Barbie,
one.
baby.
Yeah,
You got the wrong one.
I think that was Barbie. I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
Barbie. John. Yeah.
If you're on one of those boards where you're anonymous and you say Q, is the moon real? You're now QAnon. I'm convinced God's hand was involved in getting Sound of Freedom out. I want to see it, but have to wait until it's on DVD. You know, I do. I think people underestimate having God on your side. They really do.
It's still his world, guys.
Yeah, the massive growth of Fund My Comic and where we're at, it comes down to, I think, God being on our side. I really do. You know, understanding that this is just the first step of many to do some really great things in the world.
And the good thing about it is that you don't have to be like pious or like have any airs of superiority, like get preaching to people. You just have to do stuff. You know,
Right.
Yeah,
do it with intention. Be clear about your message, but you don't have to be preachy. And I think that's one of the problems when people wanna give a good message. They tend to be preachy, and that like pushes people away.
Yep.
But things like Fund My Comic and what many people are doing, like for example, what Michael Bancroft is doing with the Lucent, he just does. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he's very successful. He doesn't need to be like all this. Look at what I'm doing. No, you just do.
you just do it.
Be excellent and
You just
be
prove.
undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just be excellent and prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
QAnon is lame. Look, the first time I heard about QAnon, I knew it was fake. I knew it wasn't real. I knew it was made up. It was some internet, especially you know, if it's on 4chan or anything like that. It's not real. You know, it's not.
No.
It's goofy. So QAnon is lame. QAnon is lame. Anyone who believes that, I seriously question their mental faculties. Politicians use it as a boogeyman. It's like Santa Claus. They
Yep.
do. They use it. It's like, oh, look out for the thing.
First time I
Dr.
encountered
Ben is in the
it-
house. Welcome, Dr. Ben. It's great to have you here.
The thing
First
about it
time
is,
I
if you see
encountered
somebody
it was-
reference
And then
QAnon, then
Grable
you know
says,
that
sounds
you know
like
they're
that
lying.
guy saw the Barbie movie by mistake.
Yeah.
Oh well, divorce Barbie cost more than regular Barbie because divorce Barbies come with Ken's house, Ken's car, and Ken's furniture.
Yep.
And Tyrone's son.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's funny.
And the kid.
So
And the kid.
I did want to bring this up. So our logo was designed by Randy, and so there's this guy in the community, Shant Jetty,
Yeah.
who is a longtime graphics professor, is what I've learned. But he's
Yeah.
been doing for ages now. And he had,
He was the power behind EVS for a long time.
yeah, and he had mentioned, asking before, if we were willing to take, direction on our kind of
Logo?
look and feel, our branding stuff and everything. And I said, yeah, I just don't have time for that right now. Like our focus was functionality and getting it up. And it's like, it's good enough. But he whipped up something the other day and sent it over to us. And so we popped it up to show it off. I think it looks pretty good.
It's
What do you think,
fantastic.
Randy?
Yeah. Looks
Like
great.
he took whatever we had and just elevated it a little bit.
I don't know
I'm like,
about the round circles for the eyes, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clean up the
he,
lines.
yeah, he cutened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cutened it up a little bit. But yeah, so we're So we're kind of playing with that a little bit and using that for a while now. See how that plays out. Yeah, I've had so many people ask you, what about your looking? We're eventually going to go dark mode, I think, on the site, but
No.
yeah. So I thought that was kind of neat. We did that.
Once you go dark.
Right. Once you go dark.
Who did not see that coming?
Yeah, once you go dark. So this week I've seen a lot going on with social media. So we've got a couple topics to talk about today. I'm going to talk about those briefly and then start working on some books, talking about what we have going and happening. So I think this is a good group to talk about this, and especially, and I honestly, when I set up this topic, I did not remember that I had Cooper on. So I think anybody that could speak on kind of the pros and cons of social media.
Yeah.
I think Coop, you might have something to say about this.
I might have some insight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Social media. Here's what I'm finding out about social media. It is almost like a necessary evil. We were talking about this prior to the show starting. Whiskey and I were.
Oh yeah.
There's this new fad. What's that? What did you call it? What did they call? Whiskey. What is it?
I don't know, the thing where they're NPC fad or something. They're
NPC girl.
Yeah.
You know, guys are doing this crap too now.
It's rough.
Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Do you guys know what we're talking about?
I mean, due to extensive research, I know that the girl that started it all was a porn star before.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. Just I did my research, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
good
that's
of
something
mankind.
I
She was
recognize
before or
that
currently
face.
is?
Oh, like, I
think
recognize that.
Pedro
face.
is going to do the research, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
I think she stopped, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
she
think
stopped because she started doing like ASMR and she's making more money with less
Then
work.
she's making more money on doing ASMR than she was getting boned on screen.
Getting boned on screen, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like God
And
bless.
That's
now she can
impressive.
look like Gorlock the Destroyer, and it's not going to matter because all people
Yeah.
are just hearing her. So
Okay, yeah, here's the one that here I'll show this one. This is the one that everyone's always talking about. Always showing off.
Mhm.
Let's go. Let's do that screen run. There we go. No, I don't want to do that.
No,
Don't want to do that.
no TikTok.
Here we go. Yeah, this is
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Videos of her and other users acting like NPCs and
Yeah, there you
reciting
go.
call and
NPCs.
response words for gifts have gone viral. But why is TikTok Live so strange? TikTok's
Oh my God,
Live
not even the-
feature allows users with over 1,000 followers stream on the app, offering them a chance to show
That's the
up
best
on
one.
For You pages.
Oh my God.
Users are able to purchase and send live streamers gifts, which are then converted into diamonds
Oh!
on the streamer's end, which can then be converted into real money. Because of this, many live streamers will do just about anything to keep viewers watching and giving them gifts. That often means doing bizarre and embarrassing things to keep viewers' attention, including offering incentives for giving gifts. So what are TikTokers doing to get these gifts? TikToker Pinky Doll has popularized NPC streams, in which she impersonates video game NPC characters by acting out various idle animations and responding when she gets a gift. During the streams, she says a specific word or phrase or performs a particular action depending on the gift she gets, resulting in a bizarre word soup when taken out of context. She also makes popcorn and opens and closes a hair straightener to add another attention-grabbing element to the streams. Cherry Crush is another TikToker who's
Yeah, that's the one
viral
I'm talking
for
about.
doing the same
Yeah.
thing, including pretending to eat when viewers send her food gifts. Then there's Shu, a TikToker
Oh my
who
God.
cosplays as a living doll and acts like an NPC while ASMR water dripping sound effects play in the background. Weird TikTok lives like this started to go viral outside of the app in July 2023, inspiring a lot of reactions. One user wrote that they were afraid for humanity after watching a Cherry Crush stream, while another wrote that they
I
had
concur.
never been more
Nail on the
confused after
head,
watching
my
a
sir.
Pinky Doll
Yes,
live.
sir. Nail on the head.
Comedian Britt Miggs even made a
We're
parody
doomed, aren't we?
video mocking the live
Oh,
streams.
for sure.
While these bizarre lives
Dude,
have
we
only
need-
just
these
started
people
going
need, like, a
viral
stare
outside of
jury.
TikTok, The app's users and
You know what I mean?
YouTubers
Just
who
get,
have posted
like,
video essays on the
5 to 10
topic
people in the room
have
and
been
just
aware
stare
of
at
the
them
weirdness
while they're
of
doing that.
TikTok Live
Yeah.
for quite a while.
You know, like,
I miss
Other
lips of
weird live
TikTok being
videos
free.
include the bolt
'cause-
smashing streams, in which users stack towers
My
of bolts
gosh.
as high as possible.
It just gets worse.
There's also
Imagine.
fourth object streams, in which TikTokers live stream an image claiming to have a hidden fourth object that isn't actually there, encouraging viewers to find that object and keeping them glued to the live. This has also inspired lives in which users
I
go
respect
as
that
close
hustle.
as they can to breaking the terms of service by dressing provocatively, showing their bare feet, and
Ew.
getting close to flashing viewers without doing so to keep donations and views coming, revealing a seedy side of TikTok Live that many are unaware exists. Many are reacting to this with confusion or disgust, seeing it as dystopian and indicating the bizarre effects of social media.
So I got to show you. I got to find the
Because
one
some
that.
people have common sense. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I understand that the people who pay to have these people act out are now called pay pigs.
Yeah. Pay pigs.
Yep.
Pay pigs.
Simps, pay
Wow.
pigs, simps too. Simp is the popular.
So, yeah.
Simps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is this is the world we
Evolution.
live in, guys. And if I can find it, this one was actually pretty funny. I doubt I can find it quickly. But anyway, so we were talking about that. That is the
Flooded again. Just flooded. We're done. We're done here. We're done. Send the asteroid.
Sorry, we're
and
still
start-
seeing rainbows. We're still
Yeah,
seeing
dude.
rainbows. It's not
It's
gonna
only a
happen.
matter of time before the EMP hits anyway. So.
I already have the chicken, so
There you go.
This is the culmination of the worst of modern society.
Don't
Like,
don't ever say that.
No.
Because there are always
No,
lower
no,
go
levels
deeper.
to think
You
to.
can always go lower.
There's
Yep.
people digging.
Always go
There's
lower.
people digging as we speak.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, like a sap crew.
What
Yeah.
fresh hell awaits us, gentlemen?
Mhm.
Fresh hell.
yeah. It's. So have you heard of this thing? Oumuamua. Is how you pronounce it.
Oumuamua.
Oumuamua. Yeah.
The asteroid?
The asteroid. Yes.
Yeah.
I think he should just send it back.
I think it's
Yep.
coming back, isn't it?
I mean, if there's a scientific way
no,
to
it-
redirect,
It whipped
Redirect
around the
that.
sun and left,
Yeah.
and he just needs to send it back.
They're
is
gonna keep
there
track of
a
it.
scientific way to go up there to that asteroid and redirect it so it will hit Earth?
Yeah, like come
Can
on,
we do
end this
that?
now.
Yeah, like Armageddon. Just send Bruce Willis and all the crew. Just like, hey, aim it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yep. Defining down deviancy. Yep.
So here's the question, though.
Simpletons.
The Vandals.
That is pretty terrifying.
Mhm.
What is actually worse? What's the next step?
Don't even ask that either, because you'll
No,
find out
no.
soon enough.
That's
Oh.
going to depress you, son. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Don't do it.
I
Don't
hate
do it.
humanity
Hey.
sometimes.
Tempting
This is
fate.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok is from the pits of hell. I agree to that. I agree to that.
I had planned to never witness this again in my life, but sure, let's go through it again.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
We're
it's
not
funny
aware of
'cause,
your agendas,
Luke
man.
posted something earlier of these guys like hitting each other in the crotch and said this is like logging on to Twitter. I said except that you set yourself on fire.
But that's a Spanish drinking game. Kind of like a weird Russian bow where you like try to chug a beer and whoever finishes first gets to kick the other guy in the nuts. They used to play that in the 90s in Spain. So
Yeah.
I don't
Did
know,
you
man.
play
Played for the
Pedro?
Spanish population.
Yeah.
Then, did it?
Yeah.
Did I play it? Yeah, once, but I won.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I won.
It's a game you want to win for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be second place there.
No. There is no second place.
Yeah.
It's only first loser.
That's only first.
look, so what we were saying is we spend a lot of time on social media,
Mhm.
and
Necessary.
Yeah, dude. I think
Yeah.
that the problem is that people before the internet did idiocy in the dark. Now it's like
Right.
wide open idiocy, and people
Right.
some people go, "Hey, that's cool," and then it gets repeated, and then it becomes a fad. It's viral stupidity. That's what's happening.
Pandora's box, if you will.
Mm.
We just opened it up.
Yeah.
Before the internet, or like the internet's popularity, or at least before social media's popularity, all this stuff, this didn't exist.
Yeah.
It was like
You know what?
forms.
I'm actually happy for her. She's not defacing her body anymore.
That's
what I
an
mean?
improvement, yeah.
That's an improvement. It's still stupid, but it's better than I guess.
She doesn't have any real skills to offer the world.
Yeah, I mean, probably her father is prouder of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Than what she was doing before. So
People watch this for hours, guys.
On
This
the,
is
on, the
it.
flip,
They give money to this.
on the flip side of that, she probably makes more than all of us.
yeah, she does.
Oh, I guarantee
no
she
doubt.
does.
No doubt.
It probably makes more of the GDP of some South American countries.
No, you don't run
That'll
on
do it,
flip-flops
that'll
while
do it.
fat. Oh, this is very dumb.
Oh gosh.
There you go. Welcome
Building,
to
building.
Karma
third
gonna get
world,
you.
whatever you are.
So social media sucks, right? So we're on it all the time.
Yeah.
Your man. So I here's what I notice. I notice that there are a lot of people that complain about not being able to market or sell their books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they act like it requires some kind of yeah, you know what? There's no way.
Skill. Yeah.
Yep, that is the only proper out. Yep.
Idiot.
Yep.
Oh my god, I hate that.
What is
Are
going
they gonna
on?
let?
Yeah,
they'll
they
let-
do that. They do that in bars, and they're gonna shake her head.
Oh,
Shake it up.
why?
It's just the stupidity.
stupid. Oh
Bar
my
stupidity.
gosh.
Yeah, idiot. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Keep going into the jungle. Do it.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh,
Something like that happened.
That'll do it. Yeah, that fixes it. Here's it. When we go, okay, so
is there-
the internet is
This
full
is-
of
He's in
This
a
negativity.
is a
desert.
grease fire, sir. Okay.
he's in a desert. He's got sand everywhere.
Yeah.
Throw sand
This
on
is-
it.
This is a grease fire. Water's not gonna take care of it.
No.
Throw water on it. Throw sand on it.
Yeah.
So, social media, comic book creators, we could get to see this stuff all day long because most of our business is taking place on social media. Here's where we are.
Yeah.
We are marketing. We are connecting with potential clients. We are connecting with clients, and we're promoting ourselves. We're promoting other people. It can get very
Messy.
Overwhelming.
yeah, all of that. You insert the adjective of what it can become, and it blinds you. And I think we lose track of ourselves. And when we try to go in there, and especially a place like Twitter, we try to be positive. It's like this fella right here. Like, yeah, it's not going to do much.
Yeah.
It's
It's hard too because you have.
Oh
to
my
stay,
god. Oh no.
You have to stay relevant as well, right? Like, so you're trying to not piss
Yeah,
off everybody in the universe. You're
I
making
mean, this is the
posts.
problem. Like, I want to vouch for my people, and then things like this come up. And
Did he just set his fart on fire?
Light
On fire?
She
fire.
just set,
That was a-
he said
set
his
her
own ass
backside on fire.
I
How
think they're
can I
trying to burn
defend
the
that?
hair off. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you can't.
I can't.
So
Oh no!
you're trying to stay relevant, and then you have to comment on whatever to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And then somebody else makes a comment, and then brings the whole stupid
Mm.
thing down. The next thing you know, you've lost yourself in an argument that lasted 5
I'm not
hours,
feeling good about this.
and you're
No.
not doing any work.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude. No,
Can't see
that's
that.
death. Yeah.
Eat Shark Week.
Can't see that.
What's going
No,
on
no.
here? I love
Somebody's getting into the ball. Oh,
All right.
okay. Nice.
Oh, look at that goose
Oh,
egg.
Bean.
Pinged him right there, right in
You're
the
gonna get
skull.
soul struck, man.
That's how you win.
Oh, God.
Rama,
Oh, boy.
what are you doing? That's an old lady.
Don't do it. Don't do
Oh,
You did it.
that'll be a back problem.
So,
Chiropractor visit at least.
A chiropractor.
we laugh at people that do this physically, but we see this happen socially all the time.
Yeah.
How many times do you see creators engaging in meaningless fights? Like, okay, that's one thing that I see a lot of is
Half a
just
day.
like 2 or 3 times a day. And some people are really notoriously bad for it. Like that's all they do is, hey, they're in a fight again. They're in a fight again.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, you know, now I understand that. Ouch. You know, there's you get
right
to
on
be a
the
certain
fence.
age, and you realize that there's things that you shouldn't try.
Yeah.
The tailbone, man. The tailbone. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. what to
It's the
expect.
pout for me.
yeah,
The
dude.
pout.
Yeah, that was not manly at all.
But all right, so here's why I like watching these out of context humans do this stuff, because I find that a lot of it'll preach, right? Especially when it comes to how comic creators use social media. How many people do you get on there and they say and do stupid stuff, right? We just had somebody the other day get banned off of there because they doxed someone's family. They were threatening people's family and well-being, right?
Yeah.
And then they get banned, you know, they get their account suspended, and they're like, oh, I'm a victim. You're not a victim, you're an asshole,
You're an idiot. Yes.
right? Like, I got a bell. That makes me happy. You don't have to, I mean, so we complain about, I don't know how to sell my book, right? But what do? We spend hours on social media doing stupid crap, engaging in things that aren't productive with our time.
Yeah.
The only way that you can build empires, create crowdfunding websites, publish 9, 10, 11, 12 books, the only way you can do all of that stuff is by not engaging with this stupidity, because it's a great time waster. But there's another thing that is a very valuable tool that many of us don't use. And it's this free university that you can go to. And I love it. I don't know if you've heard of it before. YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And there's this guy named Gary Vee. All right? If you don't know anything about marketing at all, if you want to figure out how to navigate selling anything or doing anything, first off, don't go to comic book specific stuff, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your product is.
Yeah.
Your comic book is your product. It's not your content. All right? That's one area where I really do agree with Tyler Carpenter. Even though many times the way he puts it across, I don't care for. It could be said, I think, in a more gentle way for some people. Then other people need to hear it the hard way. That's what she
Some
said.
people like it hard.
That's what she said. And then, but so when it comes to marketing, you got to figure out what your content versus what your product is. Your comic book is obviously your product, right?
Yeah.
Everything else you do is content. The tweets that you make, the posts you make, that's all considered content. Putting out little pictures, doing newsletters, if you have a Substack, content. That's all content stuff. You need to put out a lot of content. You can automate a lot of this content too. But how do you figure out how to do it? Well, instead of spending an hour fighting with someone on social media while you're drawing or you're writing or you're working, while you're doing something over your lunch break, listen to Gary Vee. Go over there, listen to this guy, Gary Vee, Video Experience. This guy has got all kinds of stuff. He teaches how to do NFTs for people that are in that, but he's got tons of marketing stuff. And as you can see, I've listened to a lot of his marketing tools. So marketing, you look that up. Look, if you don't know how to do shorts, figure out how to do shorts. You can literally search it. Anything that you want to learn how to do, someone has shown you how to do it for free on friggin' YouTube. Instead of hanging out on Twitter and fighting with someone, I mean, let's just look at my feed today. Guys, this
There
is
it
going to be
is, right
scary.
there.
Bam,
Boom.
right there. Let's see what happens.
whole
Let's see what fights we have going on today. Oh, great. Look, someone has progress. Bingo. Someone's doing it right. Art fields are broken because people have decided to put the cult personality above merit and skill. Wrong. It's not broken.
No.
It's not
It's
broken.
Just changing. It's just changing.
It's changing. You've got to be strategic.
You may be
Figure out a
hanging
way
in the wrong art
to be
field.
strategic. You can be the absolute some of the best guitarists and musicians I ever met, work full-time jobs and play on the weekends in front of crowds of 5 or 6 people. Why? Because they thought someone would discover them.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
No one is going to discover you. It's not going to happen anymore. That's an old-fashioned mentality for an old-fashioned business model. You have to be discoverable now.
Yeah.
People aren't just that record exec's not just going to break down in your town and hear you on stage that night and say, "Wow, I've got to sign them." No,
And
you've got
what?
to put your crap out there for people.
But that's a closed loop anymore. You know, I mean, the idea that you can go from being a civilian, be discovered, and get signed or whatever, that's a closed loop now.
Yeah, dude. And
The whole entire industry is basically incestuous.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
Well, it's also
the-
irrelevant.
Yeah, and
it's
if you go with
irrelevant.
that
It's become
mentality,
irrelevant. Yeah.
Why did you need the record label before? Because they had the resources to record you. And why did you need them? Because they also had the resources to
set up a tour.
To set up tours, and they had the resources to distribute your work. Guess
market.
what? All of those tools are available on your laptop now. Every last one of them. Wherever your market is, wherever people are going, if you don't know where people are going, then friggin' do some research.
find out, yeah.
Well, the
Find
biggest
out.
music acts in the world right now in country music is Home Free, and rap and hip hop is Tom McDonald, and both of those are completely, totally free of industry. They're completely, totally mom and pop, off of their laptops, and they're doing everything themselves, and because the industry has made itself irrelevant by being such a enclosed area. You know, I mean,
And
Uh,
Napster killed them.
yeah,
I mean, they
when
never
I
recovered from
tried
Napster.
when I tried to like get something published, I basically talked to a guy who owned a bookstore, and he informed me that there's like only 3 warehouses in the whole entire continental United States that distribute books to bookstores. Okay, and
Yeah.
they're closed to submission from anybody that's not submitted to them by a publisher. And the only way to get to a publisher is you had to get an agent. And that agent had to submit it to them, and then you had to like jump through hoops to get an agent, and it's just
And
like
run the
Then
risk
tick all
of
the
being sex
boxes.
traffic.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, to me, it's just shady business. Like, come here. Let's have a
Right.
meeting at 4 a.m.
So Jason is saying that after a few hours, Gary's not giving you anything. Well, he does. You have to find the right ones, not the ones where he's. Some of them aren't even on his channel. Some of these things are on so companies paid him a buttload of money to come in and talk to their employees and answer their questions. And those companies videotaped that interaction and they put it on their YouTubes for free. Take advantage of their investment and learn what their employees learned from the master, right? That's what you do. So there's a few people out there, you look at that. Most of the how to market comic books videos that I found, the closest, the last one was like a year ago, 2 years, 3 years. None of them say anything of absolute worth that will help you. So I did a video yesterday of the 4 mishaps in marketing, because I think it's easier when you can identify what you're doing wrong so that you can remove those things than just telling you what the right things to do are. Because the right thing to do is it's nebulous, really, depending on the platform and on the audience. But we all know the wrong things. You know, spamming without engagement, not creating enough hype. I can't remember the other 2. There's 2 more.
Being a disingenuous dick.
Well, yeah, there's that too, right? So let me talk about that for a second. We've got here's a tweet from Ethan. I've got to tell you this. I am impressed that his social media is cleaned up the way it has. He's engaging with trolls a lot less than he used to, and he's starting to produce more like, "Hey, I'm selling something," or more positive things. Not entirely, gone over to that, but he is doing that more, which is encouraging because his channel first started out giving tips, and I loved the channel then. I'm not as big a fan these days over the last year when it's just a bunch of yelling and complaining about stuff. I really like the productive aspect.
The problem with
stuff.
that is that, I mean, I don't know him personally. I don't count him as a friend, but it seems like he enjoys fighting trolls.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I think he does.
And,
And I think for some people they do, like Craig loves doing that.
It's-
You know? And if
some
that's your
people-
entertainment, then have at it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
So
Craig's
you-
like Craig's like I'm
experience.
retired. I don't have nothing else
Yeah.
better to do.
Yeah, but you can't complain about not selling books when you're
Yeah.
not selling books, right? Commenting on someone else's feed is not creating your own content. Now, some of these guys will tell you need to have anywhere between 40 to 1,000 pieces of content that you put out every day. So let's just start on the low end, 40 pieces of content. That's 40 original engaging tweets or posts across every platform. And every platform should be different, right?
Every
Like
day.
that's one thing you learn every day. But every platform should be different. Like don't just copy and paste the same tweet. Okay, this is going to be on Facebook, then it's going to be on Twitter. Do something different about it. And there's this the jab hook method that he teaches that it's been really effective for me in the last few months trying this out. It's where you give engaging content, then you hook them with something that's a call to action. You know, like, hey, visit the website, or hey, back the project. It works really well when you consider every fourth thing that I do is going to be a call to action. But we all know those guys that they just continue to spam the same link everywhere. So I'm in like several groups, and when I get the same message privately sent to me that's in a group that I'm in, I'm like, F you, man. It gets on my nerves. It drives me crazy. Now, some people talk about, well, engaging with trolls you shouldn't do. Incel Right Studios, they absolutely should engage with trolls. That's his marketing plan, right?
Yeah.
Getting banned from Google, getting banned from all these places, that's part of the marketing for this kind of product that he does, this political parody. He's going to get, because of that stuff.
Subversive edge you're looking for. Yeah.
So you want that. So when you start, I get a message from somebody saying, man, I don't know, that's kind of scary. You know, he's on the platform over there. You know, he does this or whatever. Are you worried that they're going to, I'm like, no, they're not. I'm not worried that they're going to come after me because he's still on Twitter. They're not coming after Twitter. He's still got some spaces. It works for him to get banned in these places, right? It's better for him. It helps him out in the long run. So again, like, you got to figure out how to use the social media. Try to see just how many fights we got going on today.
Oh, nice.
Anybody battling?
Mad Ruth, there's always fights with Mad Ruth.
Yeah, well, he's upset. They're in some political things over there in Canada, and things are really jacked up in Canada.
Yeah, dude.
So,
and Justin Trudeau dressed up like a cowboy, and he was only missing the stick force. That
Hojo's always good for a little bit of a brawl.
A little bit, yeah.
I feel like with the Canada thing, it's hard to.
Hojo, I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah.
Bro, if you have an issue, grab a tissue.
Yeah, nice.
I love this, but he's calling somebody out. But again, this works out really good for Hojo, right?
Yeah.
Because it's part of his engagement, but you have to understand how to do that. Hojo doesn't go on and complain about marketing and not being seen based on, well, people aren't judging me on merit and talent. He's not doing that because his debut campaign, he's raised over $10,000 for his first book.
But Hojo did something that I've been trying to emulate. Hojo branded himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, if people know me, then they'll want to look at my product, you know. And so he went out and he started like getting in chats and started being his usual Hojo self. And eventually people were like, hey, let's see what else you got, you know. And plus he had that trailer that's just like hilarious.
Eric does a great job. Eric does a great job also of engaging on social media. He's figured out how to use social media to his advantage. He stays out of anything because of his branding. He stays out of anything that is even remotely a political opinion on one side or the other, especially when it comes to the gender thing. Like, he's like, I'm staying out of that. Smart. Good on you. I've walked my butt right into it a few times, just because I am what I am, you know.
Yeah.
So you'll notice when you kind of go through, I like to see art. Like, that's my favorite thing to see.
Yeah.
And that will make me want to engage, right? So engaging content,
Yeah.
when you are like commenting on somebody else's stuff, you're engaging with them, not the other way around. So you want to create those opportunities for people to engage with you. And if you notice, we had one complaint, one retweet about not being seen properly in the community, that it's broken. Eric July is always fighting, but that's his
Yes.
brand.
He enjoys that too.
Yes. And he's got a cavalcade of people
Oh, yes, he
who
does.
brawl for him.
Yeah.
He does. But that's the brand that you create. So you've got to figure out how to use social media in your best interest, how you do it. Like, how are you going to build an audience, and where's your audience going to be? So there's this thing called, you can go to groups, communities, and you can search communities. So I've been wanting to learn TTRPGs and try to figure that out. So I hang out in here, and like, if someone like posts a lot of things that I like or I find interesting, then I will follow them.
Okay.
And then that creates a synergy, because sometimes they follow me back.
Yeah.
Right? And so now that's putting me into a different community that's there. Twitter's one thing to use. Discord is another thing that you can use really to your advantage for social media. But I think in the end, we have to really focus on how we use those platforms. Now, Randy, I want to talk to you for a minute. I want to get your input. When you started this thing, social media was a wet dream.
I remember dial-up modems. Yeah.
Right.
CompuServe. Yeah.
So how do you find
AOL.
social media helps you?
Well, I'm not all over social media. I stay off of Twitter as much as I can. Maybe go up to it once a month, especially lately. Facebook, I'll run on all the time, but I don't post anything too opinionated up there unless it's funny. I'll post a funny meme every once in a while, but I'm not up there trying to engage into fights. I find myself at least 2 or 3 times a day writing out posts on Facebook and then deleting them.
Oh.
And going, that's not worth it.
That's
You
a
know,
smart tactic right there. Too many people go ahead and hit send.
I'm going, "Oh,
Self-editing.
you're an absolute idiot. What do you think this and this and this is? Why don't you read? Get an education." No, it's not worth.
Not
getting into
worth it.
But
Right.
every once in a while, one will sneak out.
You know, sometimes it's just good to get it out
Yeah.
and then delete it. You know, there's actually, that's, you know, in counseling, that's what we would do. It's like, look, write down your feelings in a letter and then throw the letter away.
Well, I
Yeah,
usually
That's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
I was taught to have no feelings, like a Latin macho kind of
well
thing.
when I engage with somebody that I know is not going to change their mind, I'm engaging people that are around them or that are reading. I engage their like idea of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I'll say, okay, I know I'm not going to change your mind, but this idea that you're positing is completely wrong, and here's why. And so when they cut, you know, they'll come back at you.
But when
you
all
know.
you ever do is come in and say, yeah, well, actually, or you're completely wrong and here's why,
Yeah.
you start to get you lose a likability, right? And that's part of the problem. While you're on social media, you can be, like, that's the best part about Hojo. So yeah, Hojo kind of wrote me those 3 rules, but they're really his rules, right? That's really him, you know? Just so happens that we're kindred spirits when it comes to that. But again, he had to build himself as a brand, or else no one would care about the 3 rules,
Right. Right.
right? Like you have to build yourself as that. But he has become likable, and he can still engage in fights. You're talking about Jeremy from the Quartering. He's milquetoast, or he's not likable, or he's just vanilla at times, right? And you can be.
Vanilla has flavoring. I wouldn't call him vanilla.
I mean, you could be contentious in what you do on social media, but you also have to try to find a following. You have to be at least likable in some way, and you have to be intentional about likable, asshole, likable, asshole, right? That's kind of the. Think about. I mean, take the jab,
Likeable
jab, the
asshole.
hook.
That's my brand. Yeah.
Yeah, try the jab, hook method. Even with that, as you're building your brand and where you're going, right?
Right.
And then work in your promotional posts and stuff like that. But it's about trying to market who you are. It's about trying to let people get to know who you are, because it's not just the art that sells itself anymore. Again, you're not going to get discovered. You know, you're going to have to become discoverable when it comes to those things.
Those days are gone, man.
I do want to answer. Welcome, Memes of Destruction. What's going on? We're just having a little real talk right now. Real talk. Tree Goblin asks, Luke, do you think artists should put their unfulfilled books on FMC before fulfilling the original Pink site? Tree Goblin, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly fine for them to do that. Okay? There are many people that have done that here. They are in the process of getting to the point of fulfillment.
Anyway.
They don't necessarily have to have fulfilled yet. I know what you're trying to talk about. I know what you're trying to say. But my only concern is when they try to start a second campaign and they haven't fulfilled their Fund My Comic. That's when Luke gets involved. Okay?
Hey. You're the guy in the chat.
That's my thought now. So no, I don't. I think it's fine. I think there's plenty of people that do that. I think this one right here, Riot Press, it has funded on those other things. It's a second chance because he's almost done with it and about ready to ship. So why not go ahead and give people an opportunity to get that book while he's, that way he's got a few more packages to send out when he does the fulfillment. I think it can be a very smart idea, but I do think that people abuse every aspect of business, and it's up to you, Tree Goblin, whether you decide to support that person or not.
Yeah, exactly. Like I understand the spirit of the question. Yeah, I understand the spirit of the question. Yeah, I truly do. But the decision is in the backer.
Look,
like if you think this particular artist is disingenuous with the delivery, you're not forced to back him. You know what I mean? But having him given the opportunity to offer it, I think that would be a little bit like bad business.
Look, and if people are saying don't do it, then they've got to listen. They've got to listen to that, But it's up to them. It's up to each person that's running their business. If you create a brand that, all right. So we talked about branding a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to do a video on branding here real soon, especially in terms of comics. You're not just creating a brand for your comic, but you're creating a brand for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So under Arrow Comics, there are multiple other brands. Arrow is one brand for publishing, but there's the Randy Zimmerman brand, there's a Luke Stone brand, Mad Ruth Comics, Agent Zero Studio. There's all these other brands that kind of fit underneath that umbrella or within it or adjacent to it. And if a brand, all it is just a word association. All right. It's a value that someone has, and you are trying to associate whatever it is that you've labeled your name or your logo with that feeling or value. That's all you're doing. You're trying to draw a connection between the two. So when it comes to branding, why was it so important for us just to get the website up and running and doing our thing instead of waiting until we had a really pretty aesthetic for all this background? That's really pretty, isn't it? Look how pretty that is.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about all that, why was it important? Because the logo and the aesthetic means nothing if you don't associate the values. So now people think of Fund My Comic, and they think of Fund My Comic as one of the fastest growing crowdfunding platforms. They think of it as a place for creativity, a place to browse. They think of it as a place for them to be able to run their business with more freedom. Yes, all of the things we wanted, those three pillars, those are the three things we wanted people to associate with. You have to create those associations. And then the logo doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. As long as you can associate those feelings and values with whatever it is that you have. That's what branding is. Everyone emphasizes branding on how symmetrical your design is, whether it follows the rules of thirds or that spirally thing. Why can't I ever remember the name of that, Randy?
Of what?
The spirally thing.
Which spirally thing are you
with
talking
the circles?
With the Fibonacci.
Oh, the golden mean?
The golden mean, thank you.
Golden mean?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, golden mean, yeah.
The Fibonacci sequence you're saying?
No.
No.
No, it's just the
That's too
golden
many
mean.
words.
Yeah.
The
The
golden
golden mean
mean.
is something else. Yeah.
So, branding, it's so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And social media can get us into a lot of trouble, but it can also help us with our networking, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You got in some trouble, Bunny.
I did.
You stuck your foot in it.
Stuck my foot right in it. Yeah.
Stuck your
Yeah.
foot in it. And then you licked it off your shoe.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah.
And when I say licked it off your shoe, I'm saying you swallowed it and you were going to come back
Yeah.
with this project right here.
Yeah.
The guy down at the bottom with the boobs on his avatar. He made a suggestion to you
Yeah.
that you take a break, work on your rebrand, and then launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And you ignored him.
I ignored him. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's on brand for you.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Bunny, I think you should do this. Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Bunny, why didn't you do that? I don't know. I didn't want to. Okay.
Thank you for your input.
Thank you for your input.
Oh no! I did not. I have never said that.
Thank you for your input and transmission.
In so many words, right?
Yeah.
In so many words.
No, I was determined that I was going to put it out on my 50th birthday. I was just determined.
Oh, okay.
You know, and
Yeah, don't show DMs in public. It's gross.
Yeah.
no, it is.
It's
It is
weak
very
sauce,
gross.
yeah.
Yep. John says different platforms have different audience and supporters. So that's why it's a good idea to launch another campaign somewhere else. I think if you're launching a campaign for a book that's unfulfilled on the same platform,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to stay out of it. I want to stay out of it.
The things that
Oni64, welcome.
I don't know.
Wait,
Like, I don't know
like
what
staying out of it.
what this opinion
Choose your
should be
battles.
controversial, but I mean, people are free to do what they want. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
I mean, they're just not gonna get back because they don't have the confidence of the backer.
Yeah.
So it's a risk they're taking, really.
So a little bit of problem when
Personally-
Bunny stepped in it is he actually kind of smeared a little on Fund My Comic. A
Yeah.
little bit. And so we had to do some damage control and work through those things. But so you launched this campaign, and I'll be honest with you, a couple weeks ago I was like, I don't think you're going to be able to do this.
yeah.
I think I told you that too. So I'm
You
not
did.
worried.
You
I
did.
don't think we'll be able to do this. But Bunny, you have a tenacity and a desire to not give up. And I think you do your best work when you are completely up against the wall, is
Yeah.
what I think. So you have been working on your branding, on your social media, on your engagement with your videos. I'm noticing you're getting more views on your channel. You're decidedly way more positive than you used to be. You're focusing on what what's being done right instead of what's being done wrong, which I think largely people are more interested in than just hearing about what was being done wrong. I think there was a stage where everyone saw what was being done wrong and they wanted also to vent about it. But then at some point you have to kind of buck up and just like get beyond it.
Yeah.
For example, Randy and I, we wake up in 2021 and get home in 2022. I'm sorry.
2022. Yeah.
We get home in 2022 and find out that we're part of this scam from a friend. And everybody wanted to talk about it. And we understood that everybody, friend, quote unquote friend, everybody wanted to talk about it. And we needed to. It was almost therapeutic and cathartic to talk about it and to get through it. But at some point, people were still wanting to talk about it. And we as a group said, all right, we're done talking about it. Now it's time we change gears and focus on how we're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
How we're going to improve from this and move on from this. And if you wait for the crowd to just get tired of you and you don't give them that next phase, what'll happen is you'll lose the crowd and you'll lose your audience. You have to kind of get ahead of that a little bit. And so that's what we were wanting to do. We knew that people were having us on because they still wanted to talk about the grift. And so we took advantage of that. And when we went on these shows, we talked about the long shots and what we were doing. So we sold some books. We launched from that.
And that's the thing, like Simpatico only goes so far. If you're just staying there, like lamenting what happened to you, people are going to pay attention to you for a week, maybe two. But then after that, okay, are you going to get up or what? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, you can't stay in that, like, oh, woe is me kind of thing.
No.
Well,
it was a big move in 2022.
Yeah, I was stuck. I was stuck in that mindset for a while, and then I turned a corner. Realized that I had apologized to everybody that I needed to apologize to, and that I was done eating crow, and that I had to move forward. You know, and once you get to that point, then there's still people that are going to want you to still pay and still keep paying.
Obviously.
And
people are.
and you just you're like, okay, I paid my pound of flesh. I'm done with this, and I need to move forward. You know, I still got this book to fund, and
I think it's part of the cancel culture mentality.
It is.
That people they don't want to move past the, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, that you still have to relive that over and over again.
Well,
but,
when
so you've turned
I
that into this
decided to
positive
move
thing.
forward, I had somebody just rail at me in DMs, because I'd said, I'm done with this particular part of it, and I'm not listening to anybody anymore. If you got a problem, come straight to me. Don't go through proxies. And
exactly.
And I had somebody, just rail at me about that, and I was like, I'm sorry this hurts your feelings, but I'm moving
adults
on.
do that. That's what adults do.
On,
hey, talk to me directly and let's deal with it, right? So we've maintained our friendship even through all of this.
Yeah.
Even though there was some advice that until people understand that Fun Mike Comic is its own entity that is not connected to these brands, are separate, put some space here. And I think it actually helped both brands grow a bit.
Yeah.
So while you've been out in the wild now, you've been working on this.
Yeah.
You've been out working on your engagement, and there was a lot of things that you had planned for the launch that just couldn't take place.
No.
But what happened was, in its absence, you asked for some help.
Yeah.
And you got it. And how many shows have you been on now?
I think I'm up to 9 or 10 now. Yeah.
9 or 10 shows. You launched on Michael Bancroft's show, which is usually a massive launch night.
Yeah.
And what was your launch night? What did you get?
11 backers.
11 backers, yeah.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Well, it made me depressed because I know that was down to a lot of burned bridges, and that there's a lot of people who would have been there if if I hadn't made the mistakes that I made. And so, I was it depressed me, and plus the fact that this first week was going to be all these connections that I'd built up for all this time, and they were not there for me to connect to. And I was off of work that week, anticipating going on a lot of shows, and I had the network that I was that I thought I could rely on was not there.
Yeah,
And
it's gone now.
yeah, and so rather than come to the conclusion that I needed to make a new network, I kind of I got depressed, I got paralyzed, and then I had somebody like I'll say it, Aldous on the farm, DM me and lit me up about it. He's like, do you not like your IP? Do you not,
You can always
say
count
you
on
work on it?
Aldous to be completely honest.
Yeah,
I like
and
him.
he's like you say you worked on this is your lifelong dream, and you're just letting it die, and he was absolutely right. And so I was like, okay, I don't have a network anymore that I can call on. That's just it's not going to happen, and it's not going to suddenly revive. It's gone, and 3 years of work is right before I was going to launch, and so I had to do something new. So I was like,
And you did it pretty quickly. So how did you build that? Our other part of our topic is tips and tricks for networking, which can definitely be used in social media,
right?
But Discord servers and things like that. So this is where I did want to ask you. So you were able to start networking, with an kind of a new group of people.
That Belmont's right. I did myself in. He's absolutely right, and I own that. But the bottom line, though, was that I had people that I was still friends with that are still friends with me, and people that were still friendly to me, and people that wanted to help me, but they didn't know how to help me. And so what I did was I put it out there that okay, this is my situation, this is where I am, and I'm looking for shows to be on, and I'll take any comers, and and people help me out. People I didn't know that I was familiar with. It turns out that there's people that were friendly towards me that I wasn't aware were friendly towards me, and they're like, hey, I got a show. I didn't know you had a show, and it's like, sure, I'll go on it. And next thing you know, I started getting show after show after show, and I was very grateful for that. And
so in doing that, you've been able to get your name out there, get kind of a new network of people that you hadn't, and not just other professionals, aspiring professionals,
right,
but fans, people that like comic books, that you did not have connection with before.
Yeah, you know what I can rescue from this, Bunny?
Go ahead.
Maybe you lost the network you had. Obviously, we're not going to revise on what happened and what not.
Yeah.
But the knowledge in how to build that network was still in you. So it wasn't. That's why you build it back so fast, because there are things and that knowledge. I won't see this as 3 years lost. Maybe lessons to learn.
Right.
But it's not 3 years lost, man.
Well, what I discovered was one thing that I developed was goodwill. I had a lot of people who had goodwill towards me, and still had goodwill towards me. And so, when I gave them the opportunity, like Dave Brink, Genuine Comics, sweetheart, but he's booked.
Dave is awesome.
Yeah, he's booked like through. I think he said through August, and but he's like, but I'll make an extra show, because I had him on my channel, and I pushed Genuine Comics stuff, and I've told people about Perfect 10 every chance I've gotten because it's a great series.
Oh, by the way, Bunny, I have a show with James Edgerton.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays, like September is open, so
all right.
Just contact James, and we can get you there.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway, so the thing that I've discovered was that you can always like if you're genuine enough and you like mea culpa and you own it, that people are looking for a redemption story, willing to help you with your redemption story, as long as you're genuine, as long as you you know.
Yeah.
And I knew I had the horse, I knew I had a good IP, and I knew I had a good protagonist that people could get behind, and I knew that I had a theme that was going to resonate with people. I just need to get it in front of people, you know.
Yeah.
Like last night, you know, I got on to Drink with Crazy, the comic shop, and they flipped out over the campaign completely, and I won the night, and I was very flattered by that. But I don't know. I know I've got something here, and I've worked for this for decades, and so
You got a lot of pin-up, sexy stuff with this guy.
I do. Absolutely, yeah.
You got something to say?
No, I don't.
Just
have
keep in
anything
mind
to
that
say.
that
Chandler and Michelangelo.
no, just keep in mind that none of us will judge you. We don't care.
I know that, but you know,
We'll just send you. We'll send you.
well,
all
it's
the-
part of comic book history. Beefcake was as big as cheesecake at one point. Guys wanted something to aspire to, you know, and it wasn't all about the sexual thing, you know. Besides, we're trying to like inject masculinity back into society, and so
I
That's
don't
what
know if
she
you want to put the
said.
word injection in that.
okay, well, we're trying to like infuse it back into society. Is it better? Is it better? Okay, so I do have sexy chicks in my book, and
Where are they?
I do have sexy chicks in my book, but I chose because he's the main focus.
He's
of
got
the
sexy
book.
chick.
So,
Chick. Yeah. Oh, there's one.
there's one right there. There you go.
Yeah.
I've
Proper
actually
hair,
got
though.
two. I'm working on getting some stuff together for the other
All
one.
right.
The
So-
other big stuff.
So enough about the whole
Yeah.
rally around. So people are starting to see this.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, can I come on their bake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Right.
Let's talk about this thing."
Mhm.
I have a cover that I did for you
You
that
did. Mm-hmm.
I really want people to pick up because I'm quite proud of the work that I did on that.
It's beautiful.
But I love your trailer. It's very patriotic.
Right.
I kind of felt like this character Ironsides could be the kind of Captain America,
Nick Fury also.
Nick Fury that they've screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I kind of get that vibe, that feeling from him.
With a good dose of cable.
Well, yeah. So in your story, one of the things I always liked about it was that it really isn't a story about the superhero,
No.
but really of what the superhero when he's not really that super anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so this guy was invincible. He was out fighting, and then he gets hit with this crystalline thing, and mortality is now a thing. So rather than put him out on the front line for this guy to die, they stick him in an office.
Yeah.
And man, do I relate to that, especially when, coming out of the hospital, everyone started treating me very fragile, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I hated it when they grounded Maverick. You know, I love driving. I love that freedom. And when I wasn't allowed to drive, it drove me nuts.
Oh, dude.
Right.
And knowing, so there's that, it's that knowing your own limitation, but then having other people impose limitations upon you
Right.
because of your perceived weakness. Bingo.
Yeah.
I got another bell today. Makes me feel good.
That thing.
I must be
Get that
preaching.
thing.
We should take up an offering.
It took me a while before I got cleared to drive too. And for the first month I was home, the wife wouldn't let me come down into the basement.
Well,
Because she
Well,
was
one
afraid
thing-
I'd
one thing
fall
was
and take a header, and I'm like, I can handle it. Come on, we put up railings and everything, but she wouldn't listen to me.
Well, one thing that is interesting about this narrative with him is that is the moment that he took his life back, the moment he took back control of his life, when he found out that the concession he was making all these years was false, was based on false information, and he decided on the way home he jumped, he dodged the guys that were watching him, and he decided to intervene in this girl was being harassed on the subway, and the moment he powers up to intervene, the hand moves that he's been working without for 50 years. He's been shaving one-handed. He's been doing everything one-handed, and thinking that the hand was just permanently lost to him. And
I can relate to that.
the moment he powers up, he finds out that he could have done it all along.
He's stronger than he thought he was. And the other thing I like about this story is, as the book goes on, he finds out that he's got not only faculties that he thought he didn't have at all, but he's got more than what he realized. To the point that maybe he's more powerful now than before he got hurt. And again, what I love about this character is that's super relatable to my kind of what I've gone through and what Randy's gone through.
Yeah.
Coming out of this, I may not be physically the same thing that I used to be, but I feel mentally and emotionally I'm more powerful now than I used to be.
Right.
Than before the sickness. And coming into this, I'm realizing that the more muscle I flex, the stronger I'm feeling and the more I'm able to accomplish. Which with every new venture, with every new accomplishment, I'm realizing I might just very well be more powerful than I used to be. Super relatable character.
Yeah.
Very relatable story. Love for country and love for people is at the core of this guy's kind of personality.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anything else away about the story because I think that character.
It's written. It's in the pages that that are on the campaign. That moment where he, his friend tries to talk him out of it. He's like, "You could walk away. They made sure this was none of your business anymore. You don't have to do this." And he's like, "If I don't intervene and they get away with it, then I'm already dead." And
somebody must have reported us on Facebook because all of the Facebook streams just went down.
That's rough.
Wow.
Or it could be a
Nobody.
Facebook problem, though. What have we said?
Is there outages other places?
No,
Or
no.
something like that?
I'll check my
You're also
notifications.
past the 2.5 hour mark too.
It's never a problem. It's
Well,
never been a problem.
Face-
It only
you never
takes it
know
down.
with Facebook.
It only comes down
Yeah,
if
switch.
someone. It only comes down. Yep, someone reported it.
So, I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about the other stuff about like T Bunny doing his whole redemption arc or whatever. I mean, there's still going to be people like me that support him because he's opinionated. I like an opinionated person and speaks their mind, and I generally trust opinionated people more than somebody that's a little more reserved. So I've been kind of like T Bunny's. We've been helping each other out since I met him on social media.
I kind of look at what people do much more than what people say. So in that regard, I don't know. I don't see Bunny. I mean, he engages in fights.
Yeah.
He seems to enjoy it. But I haven't seen him being disingenuous. He's always
Exactly, he's not disingenuous.
Yeah,
Right.
he's putting
As
his
long
foot in
as
his
you're-
mouth, which is normal and it's human. We all do that. So
Well, my biggest regret is this: is that I was pushing a lot of campaigns, and I was getting my show on Friday was getting eyes, and I was hopefully driving traffic to people that needed it, and when I basically when my reputation took a hit, I couldn't do that effectively anymore, and that's bothered me. Because there's people like if you think my everything that you've seen is impressive, look at Shadowpunk, that 9-minute movie. I mean, this guy, he's not even at 7. I don't think he's even at 7,000, and he made a 9-minute 3D animated movie.
Look, we love Shadowpunk, But we're
is
talking
awesome.
about Bunny right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, I
Let's
just
talk about Bunny.
Right. So that's
So-
been my regret. It's been my
So, I think the character,
Yeah.
especially in comics, in no other real art form is it as important as it is in comics. Is the core of the characters.
Right.
It is such a very character-driven form of storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody is in love with Spank, by the way. Randy,
The monkey.
everyone loves Spank.
Oh,
They're like, who's the narrator of that video? Who's that monkey? I'm like, that's Spank. They're like, Spank the monkey? I go, yes. They go,
Spank the
that's
monkey."
funny.
Tell them there's a couple of PDFs over at the Arrow store.
I do.
available.
I always lead them back
Great
over there. I haven't
Spank
seen anybody buy
material.
one yet, but
Right.
maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid. Let's see what.
Shut up, dog.
But it's that.
He's back. He'll be back some more. There's a lot
Yeah.
more of that monkey where that come from.
So you've really worked hard on developing this character, and I want to play your trailer because your trailer is really cool. It's I said the other night, I said every time I watch this trailer, I go out and I buy a new gun. So now I'm on a registry.
Oh boy.
Now the government's watching me.
There you go. My apologies for that.
Yeah, screw you for that.
Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet? Has to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. As for me, give me liberty, or give me death.
So, great trailer. While this was playing, I just went out and picked this up.
Yeah.
Here you go. I just picked this one up. There you
Oh.
go.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah. So, again, registry.
There you go. Thank you. Gun manufacturers, you need to buy my comic because evidently I'm still making you sell. So there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, like very powerful. The only
Very
thing that I can like recommend you, like check out the levels because the narration is kind of lost with the music a bit.
Yeah. The narration
Well,
should be a little bit louder.
Try
That-
to keep the music under 12 dB and keep them the minus 12 dB and keep the narration on minus 6 dB. That way the voice is always going to be on top of the when you do your mix.
The way everything's attached to that particular trailer, I can't really alter it at this point. But I did try to normalize the vocals, but there was a part because he's Orson Welles. He used different varying levels of volume.
I gotcha.
And so I wish the forbidden Almighty God, and I know not what course others may take. I wish those were louder. I got them maxed out in my program.
Oh, there are
But,
ways to like amp the gain.
So,
Yeah.
Bunny hires me for a cover because he knew I was kind of in a spot at the moment.
Yeah.
Need a little bit of money. Pays me for a cover to help me move. I need to move, right? So pays me, knows that he's going to have to wait for a minute for this cover. So finally, like, comes around, I'm like, okay, I can get to that work. Let me go ahead and do this cover for you. I said, what do you want? And he goes, well, what did I pay for? And I go, that doesn't matter. Just tell me what you want. And he's like, man, I would really love an Iwo Jima homage, like
The
wrap
Flag of Our
around.
Fathers
And I
thing?
said, we'll do it. Let's do it. And this was hard to get everyone's faces in that pose. I had to finagle it a little bit. Had to, mess about it a little bit with it. But I had a lot of fun doing it. And then you had Mika color it. And she just did such a good job.
Yeah.
With that light ray over there, right across that star. I like the cover a lot. So you guys should pick that up. $25 over here. I'm going to give you this link. I think that you should pack this book. I would love to go ahead and flip. Let's flip Bunny the Bird today.
Yeah.
And pick up a cover.
Yeah.
Funny Picture says it gave him the feels. It does. It really does. Jared Frost says, I love the community service trailer. I backed for both covers and on day one because that Luke Stone cover is sweet. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, people think that's sweet.
Yeah, I'm
right?
not sure though what to feel about Immortal Comics, Rising Comics, right there. But that wasn't really the reaction I was going for.
Yeah, dude. As long as you get a reaction, that's what counts. You have to do something to the body and the mind.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but this is not the only project that you're on here on Fun My Comic. It is your passion project.
Yeah.
It's the thing that you love the most.
Right.
That you're working on. And then we're working on hold on. There we go. Out of Obscurity.
Yep.
You did a story on Out of Obscurity.
I sure
So
did, yeah.
here is a fun thing where we were networking, and we're going to be flipping back and forth. You had, what, 11 backers on that one before?
Yeah.
Let's get 12. You had 22 backers.
Yeah.
Let's get another backer, and you can flip Bunny the Bird, okay?
I would appreciate it.
So flip Bunny the Bird. And then we've also got Out of Obscurity going. We've got 12 backers over there, 42 days left to go. I'm going to play the trailer, then we're going to talk about this project a little bit. Because this was one of those things where it was a network that kind of happened by accident.
Yeah.
And then turned into a really cool project.
Get ready for an exhilarating journey into the boundless world of imagination. Welcome, comic book enthusiasts, to the extraordinary realm of Out of Obscurity. This groundbreaking anthology, published by Arrow Comics, unveils a legion of aspiring creators, each eager to leave their mark on the industry. Prepare to be captivated as they breathe new life into obscure public domain characters, creating their own unique tales within the pages of this awe-inspiring collection. Out of Obscurity is a testament to the unwavering passion and creative prowess of these emerging talents. They have meticulously resurrected forgotten heroes and heroines, spinning intricate yarns that span the ages. Brace yourself for action-packed battles, mind-bending mysteries, and heartwarming triumphs that will transport you to uncharted territories of excitement. By supporting our Fund My Comic campaign, you become an essential part of this historic endeavor. Together, we can catapult these aspiring creators towards their dreams of comic book glory. Join us on this epic odyssey and witness the birth of new legends. Your generous contributions will not only help us bring Out of Obscurity to life, but also grant you access to exclusive rewards, including remarkable artwork, signed copies, and behind-the-scene glimpses. Embrace the spirit of adventure, for within these pages, untold wonders await. Together, let us ignite the spark of greatness within these visionary talents and redefine the landscape of the comic book universe. Be a part of history and make Out of Obscurity a reality.
Dong.
What? Dong? What?
Dong.
Dong. Yeah,
Dong.
another dong. There we go.
That was Randy. That was Randy's voiceover. That was Randy's Spank the Monkey in there.
That was Randy? What? Who knew?
Randy provided me with 2 heads and 2 bodies, each one with slightly different mouths.
Right.
And so I just used those 4 elements to animate that in a piece of software that's made for quick shorts and things like that. It's not made for animation.
Right.
Because I didn't have time to learn a new piece of software.
Yeah.
So I said, screw it. I got to get this done. That took me 4 hours to do. That trailer took me 4 hours.
Right.
I'm sad. So you did this. So we started this project. We were in a someone had put us all in a DM group. So DM groups are great ways to network. Unfortunately, so many of them just turn into these massive bitch fests, and people just get in there and whine and moan, and it can become very toxic very quickly if you're not careful. You have to be very intentional about it.
Right.
And sadly, the larger group like that grows, the more problems you have with it. There are people that will screenshot DMs and throw them in other groups and try to cause triangulation against certain people, and then you get leaks because people think you're going to talk in this scenario, in this situation, it's going to be private. I'm speaking amongst friends now.
Yeah.
And then you kind of let down some guards. Next thing you know, you've got more trouble, and they can all be like that if you're not careful.
Right.
And so we run into this group. Nobody was like, we weren't really active in there.
Mm-mm.
But the guy that put us in there, he spurged out, and it just kind of upset us, upset me, really, the whole situation. So I did this thing when I'm really upset. I build something, I start something.
Right.
I always like to start crap. And by start crap, I mean let's start a new business or let's start a new project. That's what I mean by start things.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let's do an anthology. Let's all work together and make a book, right?
Right.
Like, what's the point of this group if we're not going to do that? And I said it out there like a joke, but people were into it. And so we decided to do, since a lot of these guys didn't have publishing credits yet, really, and they're kind of new and kind of building up. They want to have more books on their table. Randy and I can both tell you, having books on your table is super important.
Right. You have names there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have some names here, too.
I recognize some, like, woo.
Yeah, we pulled in some names as well.
I haven't seen Ibai in a while, so that's cool. Ibai Canales is in there, right?
Who?
Ibai
By Canales, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's on Super Fun Guy.
Yeah. So, so we took public domain characters because it was an idea that I'd had. I was like, let's do public domain anthologies, And so we took some public domain characters, and the funny story about yours was, you wanted to do Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I said, yes, let's do it. Can't call it Ghost Rider.
Mm.
And you were like, why not? It's just a name. I go, I know. We could legally do it. But the big guys are bullies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
It's like, let's not do it, right? It's like the whole thing with PTP Zorro.
The Zorro, yeah.
Right.
It's like, look, we're not taking him down because he's not breaking our terms of service.
Yeah.
But if you want him to stop, you got to go deal with that. Like, that's between you two. So they can try to bully him, but he's not going to be bullied. And but I was like, I don't want to have to fight Marvel.
Yeah.
On this book, right?
Well,
so
I did do a lot of research and made sure that I kept it specifically to what was in public domain.
You really did. And we made everybody do that too, because we wanted to make sure that we were within the rights of the laws to be creative here.
Yeah.
And you really did that. So you took, tell us a little bit about your story that you're providing for this.
Well, Rex Fury was he was called the Calico Kid, and his comic wasn't selling. It was part of another comic book series, a Western, that's based on an actual Western star. And Tim Holt was his name.
Yeah.
And, the guys that was working on Calico Kid didn't like it because it was just, this whole entire shtick was that he's brightly colored, and it was really, and he had this assistant, Chinese guy named Sing Sing, and
oh no,
anyway, but so he's like, okay, the Calico Kid's not selling, and he's afraid he's going to lose his gig. He's like, give me a chance to come up with something different, and so they gave him that opportunity, and he came up with this idea but the ECU code the comics code at that time said that you couldn't do something supernatural. So what he came up with was this hybrid where this guy had a near-death experience, and while he was a near-death experience, kind of like you guys, he met with all these superstars of the Old West, and they like trained him to go back and be an Avenger, and so he came back, and everything was like ledger domain, you know. He everything was like, you know, imitation. You know, he had like some glow in the dark stuff that he put on his horse and put on his uniform, and just a lot of tricks and stuff, and a lot of that was Sing Sing. He was kind of like his Q. Well, and so this went on. It was a very popular comic book series. At one point, it was the most popular in America, and they had a bright young man doing covers for them by the name of Frazetta.
I've heard that name.
Who was a teenager at the time, just starting into the comics book industry, and so they had these Frank Frazetta covers, and they had this interior to where they did. It's almost like Scooby Doo. It was like the Scooby Doo kind of thing, where they basically, you know, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you, you know, whatever. But the whole thing was that they thought he was supernatural, and so they went from there, and it never really had an ending on it because it was pretty much the comic book company got bought out, and by Marvel, and so Marvel's like, we like the name, we like the uniform or the look of you, but that's all we're taking. And so Marvel took that and made the Phantom Rider eventually, but took the Ghost Rider name and then made the and another concept that they had from somewhere else called Hell Rider, and they made the Ghost Rider that is most popular. But so this guy, Rex Fury, went into public domain pretty early on. He's kind of orphaned, basically. And so my idea was, what if I reinserted Supernatural back into this story? And so the whole idea was that what happens if this guy, you know, they end his world, they destroy everything that because this whole entire thing was based on people not knowing who he is, not knowing that he wasn't supernatural. It says, what if that all gets exposed? What then? You know, is there another supernatural element that's going to come in? And so I wrote a ghost story, essentially a ghost story, and so I'm very proud of it. It's 7 pages of just really cool art. Marco Olivier. I don't know how to spell it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's Brazilian. And Mika from Barbusco.
I mean, no, it's Oliver. It's Oliver.
It's Oliver.
Okay, it's Oliver. Okay, Marco Oliver.
If it was Brazilian, it would be like Marcos Oliveira or something like that.
Okay, right. Anyway, he's really complimentary to Mika, because he and Ed have a lot of similar things in their art. And so Mika just really went another level when she had colored this. And right now she's working on page 7, and it's I'll get it lettered and we'll be ready to go. But yeah, it's a really good story. I'm very proud of it.
Yep. So that's your offering to it. There are, what is it? 2, 4, 6. There are currently 7 stories in there, each between 6 to 10 pages long. Mm-hmm. Plus, our good boy Spank here is going to be introducing each one of those stories as kind of a,
Master.
We're introducing Spank in this universe. He's the host.
Yeah. The host.
Because we're going to be doing a book that's a little more mature. A little more.
A little more.
A little more.
One of the 3G books. Yeah.
It's a 3G book, but
not for wussies.
Not for wussies. The name of the book, it's gonna be Spank Bank.
Spank Bank. Nice.
It's a Spank Bank. Yeah.
I want to revive the old not Brand Eck type of funny book.
Gotcha.
With maybe using indie properties as parodies.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And so so Spank's gonna come back with that, and so I think he's gonna wind up kind of being the maybe even official mascot of Arrow Comics. I like him.
Unofficial, at least 3G. Yeah.
Yep, he's fun.
Plus, I've got a history of comics that I've been working on that features Spank and his crew that I'm going to get back on here in a couple of months.
Yep.
And at least kick the first part of it out here pretty quickly.
Yep. So we've got this book at $2,400. We will be adding a new story, and that is going to be a story by Randy Zimmerman. And then at $3,200, we will be adding commentary from all of the creators, telling why they chose the stories they did and a little bit of their research. Kind of what Bunny shared here today about the original Ghost Rider and kind of why he went after that one.
Yeah.
And so we'll do that, and then we will announce, once we hit that one, we'll announce the other two stretch goals once we get there. But we have some interesting things going on with this campaign. Not only can you get the book in physical and digital form, you can also get t-shirts, and 3 artists are offering up commissions that you can basically get anything drawn that you want in pencil and ink. So there's 3 of those available from 3 different creators, 3 different artists, and this also debuts our new feature. Check this out, guys. Oh my God, did you see that?
Quality.
Now you can buy multiple quantities. That's cool.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
You can get 3 of them in there. Look at that. How cool is that?
It's
And
amazing.
then you use a code and it fixes the shipping a little bit and everything. Yeah. So that's so that's what we got going on there. So very cool looking book. Yours again. So 12 backers there. I'd love to make the bird dance some way before we leave the show. But we're going to go ahead and start wrapping down. We're over 3 hours. And your boy has got a lot of work to do. And still 22 backers. Guys, get over there and check that out. We'd love to have the bird dance today, but some days it's not possible, and I understand that.
That's fine.
So thanks, Bunny, for being here today. It was great to talk to you
Hi,
and see
no
what
problem.
you're doing.
Thanks
I'm
for having
rooting
me back
for
on.
you. You still got a long way to go. You've got 72 days to go, 15% funded.
Yeah.
But the hard work you're putting in, I think we can see that happen. Welcome, Chris Evans.
Chris.
You are going to
Yeah,
just
they
in
had me on
time.
Monday. I was on there Monday. So
Wait, what's up with Jonathan's feet in that
Great show.
artwork? Canals did Super Guy with me, and he was awesome to work with. Yeah, Super Guy is a lot of fun. What a funny
if you
concept.
take
That was the
Mr.
first
Magoo
script.
and One Punch Man, and that you get Super Guy.
Yeah,
So,
that was the first script to come across my desk, so to speak. And I was like, this is so fun.
yeah.
And it just set the bar for where the work was going. And I mean, it was awesome. We had some amazing stuff to work on.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm proud to be part of this group. It's a heck of a lineup.
It really is.
When you're looking at some of that art in that book there, like for example, the horses from that ghost story stuff, like horses are, as anybody can test here on this panel, are really, really difficult to do. And
Tricky.
It's tricky. And
Tricky to
it
get
comes
right.
out well on the book, as well as cloth. You got the cape down. It's solid work on the artist on that stuff.
Yeah.
The story looks good.
Well, he had
The
to redraw
presentation
the
looks
horse
good.
for me
Oh, okay.
twice.
Throw him under the bus. Why won't you?
Tricky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
why'd
tricky.
you
They're
do-
hard
Well,
to do.
it's because it's because I had the artist that just disappeared entirely on me, which is why I'm 6 months
Oh,
behind.
dude.
Oh,
But he
Oh,
was dragging
God.
his feet, and then when I asked for like digital, high def versions, he just completely ghosted me. So I don't know what happened to the guy. But then Marco came in, and I had already had his art, and that guy was like really awesome artist, and why I waited on him so long. And so I had that to compare it to, and I was like, Marco, this doesn't exactly look like I was like showing the panel side by side, and he's like, okay, I'll redraw it. So he redrew it for me.
I feel you on the whole.
But
getting ghosted
Marco's
thing.
jewel to work with. He also did Clock Strikes. So
Oh, cool.
He
heck
did.
of an
And
artist.
I'm working on Clock Strikes the colors, and so that one's fun. I'm trying to give it a real kind of golden age feel vibe to it, so to speak. I'll have to go back in and pick a new color palette. I'm not real happy with my color palette on it, but I'll get there. Yeah. So yeah, good job on that. It's going to be a fun project. I think, go over to Fun My Comic. We got a lot of really cool things going on there. We're working on getting the Fool #1 out. Books came in this week, so we're in the process of getting those packaged up so we can get them mailed out. Very cool book, man. It's so good to see that thing in hand that looks just as good. And I love.
Very, very happy with that product. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job on that one. And so that's what we got going. Pedro, you're doing your thing, right? Still animation school.
I'm doing my thing. Yeah, dude. The thing is, like, I don't know if you guys know, like, I was in not a huge accident, but my car's in the shop.
Oh.
And yeah, dude, I changed the tires on my car. So the guys overscrewed the tires, and one of the cars went flying in the middle of the road, like. And I almost, my mom had to go to the hospital and everything. So,
how's mom doing?
Man,
she's doing well. She's doing well. It's just like observation. She's really old, so I'm dealing with that now. So
there's that cover. Look at that cover.
Yeah, look at that. So the Fool. So yeah, I haven't been able to pay attention.
Oh, by the way, you can still get the Fool on Fun My Comic.
Yeah, it's still over there for a short time.
Oh, cool. So yeah, I haven't been able to pay attention to the school. Like, all the things pile up, and I can't get this project off the ground. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels. But yeah, that's what's happening there. And then I'm looking for work because I have to fix my car now. So
I understand.
Work. Yeah, that's what's happening on my camp right now.
It's just man, it's a constant total grind, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, like, you take things in stride, like, like, oh, woe is me. It's like, okay, no, another stuff I have to deal with, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, why the school's not happening? Yeah, because I have to be paying attention to that stuff. And working on Waifus and Kaijus, I'm on page 20 now. I don't know, I'm happy with the results on that one, at least.
That's going to be a fun one as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Bayonet Whiskey, still working on Bayonet and Ricochet Whiskey. Still working on his book.
Yep.
More to come.
Necromancers. Yeah, it's going good. It's a story about necromancers. Right now I'm just working on the script and getting edited. I've talked to Piper about it. She's I think pretty much signed on for editing. We haven't done any actual payment stuff yet, but we're getting to that. And but she's not feeling well this week, so that's why she didn't join us in the stream at last time. And so edits to come soon. I got Luke's helping me on storyboard with some stuff. And yeah, it's looking great. We have an amazing artist on the thing. You can check that out on my Twitter page Twitter page. It's right up usually on the front page there. I pinned the thing. And you know what? I'll just pull it up. 1 sec.
Yep, he is an amazing artist. Hate the guy. Joking. I'm joking. I don't.
Dude,
I don't hate anyone.
You're a better artist than me. Like, what are you complaining about? Like,
yeah,
I hate 3D.
And I hate myself for it.
Throw that up there.
Dude, hate is a great fuel to improve, guys. Just channeling that hatred. That's all you need to learn.
Let the hate flow through you.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Is just a sneak preview of one of the 2-page spreads in the book. You're not seeing the other half of it, but it's a bunch of zombies and some stalks, and they're pulling a wagon.
Cute.
It's great. It's good stuff. This is just a rough too. Like, he's improved the art since this was released, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no color on it yet, but I have Tavez in colors, and it's a fantastic. I don't know. It's a fun project. I'm really excited about it. It's my first book. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm just going with my gut and listening to the advice of Randy, Luke, everybody else, and what? I'm fine with not having a clue because it's super fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, supposedly the mainstream has a clue, and look what they're producing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And
there you go.
I
There's a
think
point.
based on this, I think I'm doing a good job. You know, I don't know. You guys tell me. I think it's starting
got
to
a
turn out
ding.
okay.
It's coming together.
It's
Got a
coming together.
thing.
It's coming together, man. It's coming together.
Yeah, it's looking
Looks
good.
great. Aerocomics.store. Check that out, Randy.
Please.
What are you working on right now?
My kitchen. No, actually, I have a huge T-shirt order. But other than that, I'm hoping that Out of Obscurity hits that mark because I've got a story that's been eating away at me for a long time. That's got the
Oh, those are
Golden
the best.
Age, Daredevil, and Silver Streak in it. I would love to do. I'm probably going to do all the artwork for it myself. Probably just going to do the story anyway, whether it ends up in Out of Obscurity or wherever. But other than that, I've got, it'd take too long for me to call it up, but I've got a book currently being colored by Patrick Gama called Alice in Chains that we'll be offering as an Aero Comics 3G book.
Oh yeah.
And Russ Leach right now is working on artwork on a graphic novel that I can't really say we're doing it together because Russ is really doing the lion's share of the work. We're adapting a Robert E. Howard short story. It's the first recognized American sword and sorcery tale that he wrote that was published back in Weird Tales way back in the 1920s, 100 years ago. But it's a phenomenal story. I've taken it and adapted it into a 67-page book that Russ is currently working on because he's a huge fan of John Buscema and that kind of barbarian story. And we'll have that out as soon as we're comfortable with promoting it. Running a campaign on it. We'll have that up. It's called The Shadow Kingdom. And it's great. Russ is just knocking it out of the park on the artwork on it. And I can't wait to get my hands on it so I can letter it.
Probably
So-
the best work of Russ's career.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just amazing
And
stuff.
if you guys
that's
don't
saying
know, that's
something.
from Death guy. So.
Yeah. By the way, I
Yeah,
hate
Not
Death-
Death,
Russ.
only
Death,
Death can
but,
save us.
Only
Yeah.
Death can save us.
Yeah.
Only
Plus,
Death
he's
can
done
save us.
work for a lot of the commercial properties over in
Mhm.
Britain where he's at. So,
Right.
yeah.
And as far as like he's got his own channel and stuff going on. If you like his website, you can check out Russ. I think it's russleach.com. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Comic book
and-
black belt.
And if you ever
Very good.
get a chance to talk to him, he's not only just a fountain of knowledge, but like he's a fun guy to be around.
Yeah, he's a down to
very
earth
nice.
dude.
Yeah, down
And
there.
then next on my schedule is that Spank the Monkey on the comic market book that explains the history of the comic market. I want to get back up on that. I'm 40 pages in. Just got up to the creation of Wonder Woman in comic history. And then after that, I want to put an omnibus together of my Tales from the Aniverse work, along with Sue Van Camp. We've been working on it for a while. Sue's got a brand new Varsel's Vixen story. She's just about got done. We're really excited about it. We'll get some other new stories in there as well. And then we'll collect all of the material from Tales from the Aniverse together into one large volume. Well, it'll be 2 volumes, actually, because one will be Tales from the Aniverse, and then there'll be another separate volume for Varsel's Vixens, which is a property that's very near and dear Susan's heart. So we'll be working on that in the upcoming months as well. That's the
Nice.
immediate plans.
Lots of fun stuff going on. Lots of fun
Outside of
stuff
the podcast, so I podcast
Yeah.
early Friday and Sunday. So
Yeah, don't forget to go check out Soltech. He is
yeah.
actually crowdfunding
Yes.
for issue 4 on the same campaign. People don't realize that. So the graphic novel is issues 1 through 3. Pretty much sold out of those. I think there's a handful left. And then it's going to just be the floppies that we're sending out for those. But they're well underway on issue 4.
and what
And so
a
it's
great
exciting
product
issue.
that graphic novel is too.
Oh,
It's just
gorgeous.
phenomenal. Yeah, really, really gorgeous. Reads real well. It's a great product.
So we've used this printer a lot, and there was a handful of the books had bad binding, which is the first time that's happened. But thankfully, we had some on-air openings, box openings, and the errors, the damages were visible on camera. We were able to take those, timestamp where it was at, send it to the printer. So he got with the binder to see what was the problem, what had happened, and why it happened. Okay.
Cool.
So it turns out that when you do these square bindings, there's this blade. It's a thing called a rougher. it basically takes that edge, that smooth edge, and it just cuts diagonals through it, so that when you soak it in the glue to put the cover on, that it binds all the way up real deep into the paper. Otherwise, that glue doesn't get into the middle leaves. Okay? Well, what happened was when it didn't get put on the rougher, good enough. A couple of them. Not all of them. Lion's share is in good shape, right? So quality control didn't catch these, the ones that were
poorly binded.
Yeah, poorly binded. But everything else got taken care of. So we found the problem, found out why it happened, and that is now rectified. So pretty excited
why
about
it
that.
happened, and we killed the culprit.
And we killed the guy.
He has been. He's taking a leave of absence.
He's taking a leave of absence.
That's what it
and
is.
he will no longer be serving.
Yeah, exactly.
By agreement of the board.
They think it was the new guy that they were training.
Total agreement of the board.
Can you imagine that would be like the new euphemism for like Aztec sacrifice? Like, he took a leave of absence. Head rolling down the pyramid.
It's believed that it was. It's believed that it was a new guy that was being trained, just didn't made a mistake and didn't catch it. That's what it was. It was
accidents happen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Last day.
Yeah, but are they forgiven?
That's what it is.
That's how they learn.
I forgive him. We've sent out books to the people that had damaged copies, and so so we've gotten that rectified. It was more embarrassing than anything, because here's this property we're all doing, and I was embarrassed because I bragging up my printer to Craig, and then he screws it up, and I told him Aaron, I've got egg on my face, and I don't like egg on my face.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sitting here with my, with my pants down around my ankles, with my hand in my, I feel stupid. This cannot happen.
There's a wiener.
That's these images
full
again.
Circle.
This cannot happen. I'm looking like a Greek god up there.
We're back to wieners
with his acorn.
Yeah, starting with
whiners and
the premise that egg on your face in Spanish translates to something really horrible.
Oh, okay. Don't do that.
Huevos, it's a loose translation to testicles. So
someone asked me to get free tickets at the website. I don't know what you're talking about. Tickets.
Who gets tickets to the website?
All right. I don't know about tickets to the website. Not sure.
I'll sell them tickets to the website.
Yeah, I'll sell you tickets to the gun show. Padow.
Oh, we're doing
a bridge for sale?
Padow.
Padow.
That gun I just picked up during that
that's
trailer.
a blue stick, though.
There you go.
Anyway, guys, this has been a fun show.
Yeah.
It's always fun. We are definitely kicking butt. We're out there taking names or kicking names and taking butt, or however you put it.
Taking ass.
So thank you guys so much for being here watching today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell. I'm starting to do a series, and hopefully every week I'll have a new pre-recorded video out. They're going to precede more instructional videos that will be for channel members only. Okay, so we're going to be doing some more in-depth teaching for those people that become channel members, and we're going to have the kind of the quick overview things for the public, but the more in-depth learning will be taking place just for you channel members. And so we thank you for being a channel member. Please consider leaving a tip at times. That money goes to help produce more content for the show. It doesn't really pay for me to do anything. It pays for the show, really. Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. Oh, wait. Wrong show. Sorry. Again, wrong show.
Yeah.
Don't forget to build up more than you tear down.
Oh,
there you go.
Don't forget to leave the wood pile a little bit higher than you found it.
Those are the lines.
And by golly, be careful out there.
Yeah, please.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see a 211 was 459. 2 APWs or GTA, and several miscellaneous crimes. Homicide, arson, robbery, rape. Everybody